Hey, hey, and welcome to another episode of Midnight Quest, where tonight we will be continuing our hero's journey under the deepest tunnels of the World's Edge Mountains, in the lower caverns of several ancient Dwarven strongholds, all in an attempt to reach and rescue the Emperor and his army, who are besieged in Keller's Keep, trapped there by Zargon's army. Tonight, we are going to be following a group of heroes as they navigate the eastern passage of the Halls of Baelorn, marking the end of the Halls of Baelorn, which means they are in search of the final piece of Grin's stone map, which should lead them to Keller's Keep, so that they can lead the Emperor and his starving army to safety. We are getting very near to the end of Book 2 in our campaign. That is Book 2 out of 14, which means we still have plenty more quests to go. As always, if you are hanging out in the stream tonight, don't be afraid to throw something in the chat so I know you're there. We always have a ton of fantastic conversation during the quests, and definitely don't be afraid to jump in there. We're all friendly. Justin says, keyword being should. Yeah, absolutely. That's no kidding. If you have any suggestions or questions about lore or questions about game mechanics or just want to chat about whatever you got going on today, absolutely throw something in there. I want to hear from you. We've already got two of our most common viewers, Justin and Gohan, in the chat. Good to see both of you guys. I'm sure we'll be seeing a lot of people today, although it is Saturday night, so there's a lot of stuff going on, without a doubt. We've got some quests set up to get going before we can start playing, so we better get on that so that we can get into the game as soon as possible. Justin says, it really leads them to an empty trap chest that summons 8 Chaos Warriors. Hero Quest is the ultimate troll game. Yes, yes, this is true. Okay, let's pick our heroes for the night. So we're switching over to the board camera that we're going to bring over here to the edge of the table. As most of the regular viewers know, but just in case you happen to be brand new here, we have 11 heroes currently in the ranks. That number is eventually going to get up to 20, but right at the moment we have 11, but only 4 heroes can go on a quest. So we have these Beatles cards here, which line up with a character randomizer sheet on the wall behind me, and we will use these to randomly select 4 of our 11 to go on the quest tonight. We should, Gohan, you'll be very excited to know, we should be seeing Grimina tonight. She's only been on 1 quest in this whole book so far, which means she ought to be at the top of the deck or near the top of the deck. So, theoretically, we're having a Grimina quest tonight. Our first hero tonight is the 5 of Hearts, which is Thraken the Barbarian. Here is Thraken. Definitely a powerhouse heavy hitter. Here he is. Our second hero tonight, the Jack of Diamonds, which, if I'm not mistaken, is indeed Grimina, the Dwarven Explorer. Here she is. The fan favorite, the superstar, the one-hit wonder, if you will. Grimina, the Dwarven Explorer. Go ahead and says, all the secret doors. Oh, there better be secret doors galore in this quest. Our next hero is the 4 of Hearts, which is Valerna the Elf. Here she is. It's been a little while since we've seen her as well, although she has been on several quests in this book. And our final hero tonight, go ahead and says, just make our own. Yes, exactly. Is the Jack of Hearts. The Jack of Hearts is Hogard the Dwarf. So we've got both the dwarves going on the quest tonight. Here is Hogard. Now Hogard is a little bit more of a traditional dwarf, so he's definitely a combat-oriented guy, whereas Grimina is more of the exploration type, thus her love of searching for secret doors. There's that. Let's get some character sheets here so that we can see what they have, what they might need. Okay, let's see. There's Hogard. There's Thraken. There's Grimina. And there's Valerna. Awesome. Okay, on these character sheets we have all sorts of things listed. How many dice they throw for attack, how many dice they throw for defense, how many body points they have, how many mind points they have, what equipment they're carrying, what sort of just general items they have. kind of generally what their personality is like in regards to game mechanics, and also, of course, their skill sets. So one of the first things that we need to do as we set these sheets down, now that we're getting not into the later game, but now that we're not right at the very beginning, is we need to look at how many quests these guys have been on. All 4 heroes tonight have been on 8 quests. So this is going to be their 9th quest apiece. Now the reason that's important is because we double that number, which gives us the number of skill set points they all have. And then we compare that to a scaled difficulty chart up on the wall back here so that we know how hard the monsters need to be. So if we've got a particularly experienced group of heroes, that means the monsters are going to be a little bit more difficult. So all we need to do here is 16 times 4. Does anybody know what that is off the top of their heads? I'm usually not awful at math, but when we're live on camera, my brain loves nothing more than to make me look like a moron. So I'm going to pull up a calculator in case unless somebody beats me to it. 64. 64 skill set points between all of our heroes right at the moment, which lands them at the upper level of level 2, which is boss monsters have an extra body point. As soon as we start hitting level 3, all the monsters get an extra body point, so it's going to start making even goblins a little harder to get rid of, and we are almost there. We're going to start hitting that probably before we're totally done with Keller's Keep. Right now, there is indeed a boss in tonight's quest, so we just need to remember that boss is going to have an extra body point. Okay, armory trip. We have 450 gold coins. We are totally good on trap disarm because we've got 2 dwarfs. And even Thraken has a toolkit, so it's only Valerna who won't be able to do anything about traps in this quest. Most of these people are looking pretty good. Yeah, everybody is pretty kitted out here at this point. We could get Thraken a battle axe. That's probably our best. Yeah. That means we're going to be hitting hard on this quest. If Thraken gets a battle axe, then everybody but Grimina is going to be doing 4 attack dice, which is nothing to scoff at. Hogard could use plate mail, but that is 900 coins, and we don't have that many, so that's not going to help us out any. And his defense is pretty good even without it right at the moment. That's more for getting him maxed out. Okay, let's do it. I shouldn't have gotten rid of my calculator yet. The battle axe is going to take up all of our 450 coins. That is the exact cost of a battle axe. However, Thraken currently has a broadsword which he can sell, so we'll at least have a little bit of coins left. We are going to be left with 125 coins. Guess I didn't need my calculator after all. So selling that broadsword gives us 125, but buying the battle axe takes up the 450 that we had prior. We're going to erase the broadsword off his sheet, replace that with a battle axe, and that means he is doing 4 attack dice close range. Excellent. Very nice. Now you can't have a shield if you got a battle axe because the battle axe is so big it takes both hands. Justin says, road sewed. Yes, absolutely. You can't have a shield with the battle axe, but Thraken didn't have a shield anyway. So we're looking pretty good right at the moment. I think we're good on armory stuff now. Let's go ahead and get them all their items. So Thraken has a toolkit and a fire ring artifact. The fire ring will protect him from 2 fire spells before it becomes useless. I don't think he'll need that this quest, but it's always good to have it just in case. Grimina actually doesn't have any items right at the moment, other than, of course, she's wielding the Spirit Blade, but that's all reflected on the page. We don't need the card for that. Valerna's got a lot of stuff. Potion of Healing. The Wand of Magic, which I think I passed already, and the Ring of Return, and also a Potion of Defense. There's a Potion of Defense. Yeah, I thought so. I thought I passed that already. What are we looking for? Wand of Magic and Ring of Return. There it is. Wand of Magic allows her to cast 2 spells on a single turn. And the Ring of Return allows her to return herself and any hero she can see to the beginning of the quest if they happen to be running away from anything. And then Hogard has a Potion of Healing. Always good to have. Cody is here. Hey, hey. Live long and prosper yourself, my friend. That's funny you bring that up. I was just telling a student earlier this week that for guitar particularly, on your left hand, doing that symbol and then swapping it so that your fingers are doing this and then going back and forth is actually a fantastic finger exercise. It's kind of silly, but getting your fingers to stretch apart really far is a muscle that not a lot of us have very strong, but it is extremely necessary for guitar playing or for bass guitar playing, and so that makes it a kind of a funny, a funny thing. Cody says, I still can't do that. I can do it really well with that hand. Now, I can do it with my right hand too, and I can do them at the same time, but my dad can do them opposite. And I assume that comes a lot from his piano playing. He has much more piano playing experience than I do. And he can start with one hand doing the Star Trek thing and the other hand doing the opposite, and then swap them. Now, see, I literally can't make my hands do it opposite, and then go like fast back and forth and keeping them opposite the whole time. Blows my mind. There's Grimina. Where's Hogard? Hogard card, where are you? Here he is. Okay. Cody says, right hand I got down, not left. Ah, yes. I am right-handed, but my left hand has so many more developed muscles than my right hand because of playing guitar my entire life. Okay, skills and spells. Grimina gets the Explorer skills, which are Coin Hunter, Danger Sense, and Trapsmith. Now, we'll go ahead and explain what these do, because she doesn't have to actively use these. These 3 skills are active for her the entire quest. We just have to remember to do them. Bohemius is here. Hey, hey, Bohemius. Love the dancing dinosaur. Is it a dragon or is it a dinosaur? It looks more like a dinosaur. Either way, amazing. Her Coin Hunter means that if she searches for treasure and finds gold, she gets an extra 25 coins. Her Danger Sense means that when she is searching for treasure, if she draws a trap from the treasure deck, we get to discard that and draw again. Only once per treasure search. And her Trapsmith means that if at any point on the board she is standing adjacent to a trap, I have to tell her that she's next to a trap, which means that she is kind of the one hero who can get away with not searching for traps. Okay, as far as skills, that's it. But Valerna's going to get some spells. She's getting 3 spells. She gets to pick one by name, and she also has access to the spells of darkness. So we better take a look at that. Back over here to... Oh, yeah, that's right. Again, I forgot my calculator was up. Back over here to the table. We've got here a big old pile of 6 copies each of the 12 spells that normally come with Hero Quest. Now, we are going to separate this down into 4 smaller piles. However, before we get too far into that, we also want to take a look at our smaller deck here of specialty spells. As I mentioned, Valerna has access to the spells of darkness, which are these 3 spells, which we are mostly going to be just putting into the random selection. However, because she gets to pick one, she could pick one of these. Now, having said that, we do not have a lot of healing going into this quest. There are only 2 potions of healing going into the quest, and she is the only one with spells, and she only gets 3 of them. So honestly, I think it would be smarter for us strategically to give her a healing spell and just hope that one of these come up in her random picks. So what we're going to do is we're just going to slide these darkness cards into the big deck and then let them go wherever they go into our 4 smaller piles. Okay, now randomly selecting the spells has a lot to do with how these spellcasting heroes can affect the quest. Normal hero quest would have you pick a specific type, so you can see that there are fire spells and air spells and earth spells and water spells, and you pick a type and you just get those cards. We do this as a total random selection, meaning that the heroes can get doubles, triples, or even more of the same spell. Also means they might get a bunch of really useful stuff, or they might get total junk. Either way, it has a lot to do with how those heroes can affect the quest. Like I said, she gets to pick one, and then her other 2 are going to be at random, and the one we're picking is going to be a healing spell. It could be Heal Body or Water of Healing. They're basically the same spell, so it doesn't matter which one it is. It'll just be whichever one we come up to first. Here's Water of Healing. So we're going to give her that. Her 2 random spells. The first one is going to be pile number 2, card number 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7, which is Courage. This is a temporary attack boost for whatever hero this gets casted on. And her third spell, her second random spell, pile number 1, card number 11. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, and 11 is Swift Wind. Allows her to move faster for 3 turns, or whichever hero she casts that on. So unfortunately, no darkness spells today, but she will be gaining better and better access to spells as she builds her skill sets. So we're going to start seeing those pop up more often. She'll be able to pick more by name, and she'll be getting more spells just generally. We do need to get those back out of these piles, though. It's a shame to have done a small amount of extra work to stick them in there just to take them back out, but you never know what you're going to hit. Okay. Not a lot of magic going into this quest, but we do have quite a bit of close range attack power, so we shouldn't be in bad news. With that, I think we're pretty much ready to get started, so let me start up our music. Sorry, I bumped the mic just there. Hopefully that didn't make a real loud noise. And let's get this quest text read so that we can get into tonight's quest. Book number 2, which is where we are, Keller's Keep, has 11 quests in it, and tonight we are doing quest 8, the Eastern Passage. The East Gate marks the end of the Halls of Baelorn. To get to the gate, you must make your way through several quests. Your first goal is to negotiate the Eastern Passage. This passage is guarded by many foes, so take care. Along the way, you must locate the last part of Grin's stone map, and then escape through the wooden exit door. As per usual with these Keller's Keep quests, very straight to the point with this. Find the piece of the map, which has been the last 4 quests in a row, and then get out of there. And then of course we usually get rid of all the monsters too. Now that's not mentioned in these particular texts, but I like to get rid of all the monsters. So we're kind of adding that on as probably we're going to go ahead and do this part too. Okay, back to the board map. We are actually coming down and entering this quest from just about the same point that we did last night's quest. We are entering the double wide hallway right here. So we're going to go ahead and stick our heroes in the entrance room. And as this doorway opens into the quest so that they can see, and we're not going to actually leave the door open like that, but this immediately means that we need to populate the parts of the hallway that they can see, which are as follows. There is a wall right here blocking off the right direction. There is also a wall up the way, just a little bit up here. There is, if we were to travel off to the left, let's actually switch cameras for that. So this right here is to the left of the entry door. This camera's at a different angle, so you can kind of see that there. Off this direction, there is actually a door into this red room. Right there. There are also a couple of monsters just right off the bat in this quest. There is an ocean goblin. There we go. For some reason, those drawers were not where I expected them to be, which is strange, because they're right where they always have been. So we've got an ocean goblin. Very fast little dudes, don't attack very hard, but they move very fast, hanging out on this corner right here. And then if we switch back to our other camera, there is also a wasteland goblin up in this double wide hallway. Now, wasteland monsters are slow, but they have extra defense. Wasteland goblin is hanging out right there. Okay, I also need to remember to pay close attention to the personality parts for each one of these heroes. This is still a fairly new system, and it's not a big deal if we're not paying too close attention, but I would like to pay close attention anyway. Thraken does not necessarily have... Yeah, he likes to search for treasure, but as far as battle or safety, he's pretty equal. So he's got lots of options for his first move. Thraken the Barbarian is our first hero. Need to set out these hero cards here so I remember the turn order a little easier. There we go. Thraken could search for traps in the long hallway, search for secret doors in the long hallway, search for traps in the double wide, secret doors in the double wide, or he could ignore all that searching and go to attack. He theoretically could reach that wasteland goblin. I don't think he's going to reach the ocean goblin, but he could start his way down there. So we'll put in battle one of the monsters as a 5th option. Which one of those things is he going to do? He is going to search for traps in the long hallway, and there's plenty of traps in this quest, but there are none in this particular hallway. His second action, secret doors here, traps here, secret doors here, or go battle. He is going to go battle. All right, Thraken, which direction? He's going to head for that wasteland goblin. Now, he won't actually be able to attack it, but he can walk up to it. So, 1, we need to see which one of those squares he is headed to. Okay, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. And unfortunately, he probably should have searched for traps in the hallway that he was about to walk down, because right there where he is standing, which is card determined, by the way, that was randomly decided, there is a spear trap right there. So let's roll a combat dice. Take a look down in the bottom left corner. You can keep me honest by checking out what's going on with the dice rolls. If this is a shield, he's jumped out of the way of the arrow, the spear, but if it's a skull, he gets hit. Indeed, he does get hit, taking 1 body point of damage. Luckily, he's built some constitution. This drops him to 11 body points. Okay, moving on. Grimina, the superstar dwarf. What is Grimina doing? Is she searching for secret doors, which I believe she likes to do? Yes. So, secret doors here, we'll double weight that. Secret doors here. Traps in this hallway, secret doors in this hallway, secret doors in this hallway, or go battle. So she's got 6 options. What is she doing? She is going to go battle. Okay, which direction is she going? She is also going for the wasteland goblin. All right, she is moving 6 squares. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Luckily, none of those squares were trapped. Of course, I would have had to have told her before she stepped on one anyway. She swings the Spirit Blade. Now this is 3 dice because the goblin is not undead. Hitting it with a 2. The goblin attempts to defend, blocks 1 hit but not the other, which means it is dead. Okay, Valerna the elf back down here in the hallway. She still has several options. She also enjoys searching for treasure, so that's not going to come into play in these hallways. Secret doors here, traps here, secret doors here, or move, and because the 2 of them are already here, we would be forcing her to move that direction. So 4 options. She is also just going to move. They're not doing very much searching in this quest. Actually, let's switch to the other camera since we know she's going to be going down there to the left towards that ocean goblin. Here we go. She is moving 5 squares. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5 right here. Now she is not close enough to that goblin to shoot it, which means she might as well do a search in this hallway. We've already searched for traps, so we'll have her search for secret doors, and in this hallway, there are none. All right, Hogar the dwarf is our last hero standing in the entrance room. He could search for traps, search for secret doors, or follow Valerna. Those are his 3 options. And he is going to, oh, we've drawn 2 kings in a row. Those are both nothing. Okay, he is going to search for traps in the double wide hallway. There was one, but Thraken stepped on it. There are no other traps in that hallway. Second action, secret doors or move. Move. Okay, he's moving a little bit further along than Valerna, so we'll switch the camera over here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7. Now there's no more searching can be done in this hallway. He can't open that door, and I think he's still too far away from the goblin to hit it, right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yeah, that goblin is just out of range for his crossbow. Now that the hero's turn is over, we are at the monster's turn, and the only monster on the board is that ocean goblin, which means it is going to zip up there, straight up to Hogard's face, just like that. Like I said, ocean monsters are fast, but they don't hit very hard. So this goblin, unfortunately, only rolls a single dice for attack. And it misses Hogard. It probably wasn't going to damage him anyway. I mean, a monster swinging 1 attack dice is probably not going to hit a dwarf. Okay. Back to the front of the hero's turn. We are down here with Thraken the Barbarian right here in the hallway. And you know what I didn't realize is that he is actually standing in a place that he can see this hallway, which we didn't populate. We know about the wall, but there is actually a swamp goblin standing in that corner, which we should have put on the board. And theoretically, that swamp goblin should be able to attack too. So since we haven't actually done Hogard's turn, darn it, why do I keep calling him Hogard? Thraken. We haven't actually done Thraken's turn. Let's go ahead and let this swamp goblin walk over here. 1, 2, and 3. Now, swamp monsters have bad defense, but have extra attack. So these are not necessarily good guys you want attacking you. This goblin swings its sword at Thraken, hitting him with a 1. That's right, Thraken's got Borin's armor, so he's got particularly good defense. He does block, but just barely. Okay, now it is actually Thraken's turn, and we might as well have him attack this goblin back. Theoretically, I would imagine he will get rid of it pretty quickly, and then we need to determine he's got several options for what else he could do. Does he have any sort of battle or safety? He's equal there. Okay. He swings his brand new battle axe at the swamp goblin, but misses it. That's not a good sign. Well, maybe he's not used to the battle axe. It's a brand new weapon. Okay. With his other action, he could search the double wide for secret doors, the only thing that hasn't been searched yet in here. He could also, because he's looking into this hallway, search this hallway for traps or secret doors. So he's got 3 searching options, and he is going to go for the middle option, which is searching this hallway for traps. So let's go ahead and talk about what exactly it is that he's searching. So when we are searching hallways, we will, if necessary, put in walls, but nothing else. We don't put in doors or other monsters. We're going to show walls and traps. So there's a wall right here, and this is going to go from this square up to that wall we just placed. There are no traps in that space. Cody says, I swear this doesn't usually happen. Thraken, probably. Yeah. I was a menace with that broadsword, but as soon as they handed me the battle axe, I have no clue what I'm doing. But have no fear, because Grimina is here, and it is her turn. Now, she really likes searching for secret doors, and that's exactly what has not been searched for in this hallway yet. So I feel like we should go ahead and ask, is she going to search for secret doors or attack? And we're going to double weight secret doors, because we know she likes to do that. And she is not going to do that. Okay, she's going to attack the goblin, but is she going to do it long range or close range? Does she have a preference? She prefers close range, so we'll double weight that. Close, close, long. She's picked long. Okay, whatever. She loads an arrow into her crossbow and fires at the swamp goblin, hitting it with a 2. That is a skilled strike for a goblin. This swamp goblin is super dead. Get out of here. That leaves her, because she had that all picked for her randomly, with a second action, which might as well be that secret door search. Unfortunately, there are no secret doors in this double wide. Okay, now also, I'm going to go ahead and get rid of that entrance room just so that it's not in the way. The door didn't disappear, but I'm just going to get rid of it out of my way, essentially. Okay, coming down to the other side, Gohan says lies. Yeah, there's a secret door conspiracy. There are definitely, there's a secret door in this quest for sure. They're gonna find something at some point. There's a special note in that room though. I wonder if that has something to do with it. Okie dokie, Valerna, the elf, right here is going to take some aim at this ocean goblin. So she can't hit it close range because Hogard's, in the way. And she does indeed have a vendetta against goblins. I keep forgetting to search that stuff. The vendetta or fear of certain things. So we should have double weighted her going to attack those goblins on her first turn. Stuff I gotta pay attention to. So we're gonna have her go ahead and load an arrow into her short bow and fire at the ocean goblin. Hitting it with a 1. But it blocks. Look at that. That goblin doesn't care one bit. Now there's no other searching that can be done in this hallway. So we're just going to move her 1 more and have her be done. It is now Hogard's turn, and he is also going to take a swing at that goblin. However, he is wielding a battle axe. He swings it at the goblin and hits it with a 1, and it blocks. This is the toughest ocean goblin that this game has ever seen. This is insane. You got hit with a battle axe, dude. And Hogard, he literally can't do anything else. No other searching to be done in this hallway, and he can't move because the goblin's in the way. So monster's turn, and it is just this goblin on the board. Let's see if he can hit Hogard. He swings his sword, hitting Hogard with a 1. However, Hogard defends. Again, though, look at that, just barely. 1 white shield out of 5 dice. Gohan says, Grimina, help, yes. Get back down there and help out. Cody says, that ocean goblin must be the top warrior in his class. Yeah, no kidding. I have never known an ocean goblin to survive this long. This is kind of wild. And get that close to landing damage on a hero with a lot of defense, too. I mean, again, for 5 dice to go down that tower and only 1 of them to be a white shield at the end is pretty ridiculous. All right, that means we are back to Thraken the Barbarian over here. We didn't forget a monster on this turn. Now, he could search for secret doors in this hallway he's looking into, but does he have any sort of search? Yeah, he likes treasure, so is he going to do secret doors or move? He is going to go ahead and do secret doors in that space. And that space, same thing as the traps, no secret doors. So Thraken's going to go ahead and move. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5 down the passageway. So doesn't get close enough to... Oh, I'm sorry, we didn't actually reveal this hallway. There is a door right here. I forgot we put the wall down because of the searching, but nobody actually looked down that hallway. So we do have another door there. Okay, Grimina. He trained with Joey's Redana. Yeah. Oh, that's such an amazing reference. I love it. I have been watching recently a channel I've never watched before. I think it's called Delicious James or Suspicious James. I think they have 2 channels and there's one of each. But they've been playing a ROM hack of the Gen 3 remakes of Kanto called Celia's Stupid ROM Hack. And it is the funniest thing I've ever watched in my life. The things that people can do with these Pokemon games and turn them into their own thing is amazing. Amazing that somebody is able to do that, but also Celia just has an amazing sense of humor. I mean, everything in that game is a hack. It is not even close to just like a serious Pokemon game. Not even close. Okay, Grimina. Moving on. Oh, but not very quickly. She must be searching something out. 1, 2, and 3. There aren't any literal searches left to be done in these areas, but clearly something has caught her warrior ears because she's not moving very fast. Back over here, we have Valerina the Elf, who's going to get a second chance at getting rid of this stupid ocean goblin. Let's see if it survives again. She loads another arrow into her short bow and fires. Ah, yep. Hitting that goblin with a 2, which is a skilled strike, meaning the top warrior of his class, Ocean Goblin, goes down. Super dead. I'm afraid it was always his fate to be super dead. This allows Valerina to go ahead and move. Now she can actually move beyond Hogard there. And I imagine they're just going to go in that door. Yeah, there's really no reason not to go in that door. 1, 2. Let's see what's in the red room. We have another door. There we go. And we also have, oh, we got a little bit of furniture. There is a cupboard in this room. And this is actually the Mage of the Mirror variant. Justin says, super dead, yes! The Mage of the Mirror variant cupboard, which I just love the elven architecture. They made everything a little bit curly rather than just like straight lines. That cupboard is right here. Also in this room is 3 mountain goblins and a deep goblin. So goblins, as always, they are the easiest monster in the game. Mountain goblins are kind of just regular old goblins. But deep goblins are from the deepest tunnels. We need to get that guy. The deepest, darkest tunnels, meaning that they are mostly blind because they've never needed to see. But if you live in the deepest tunnels, you've got to be tough to survive, so they hit very hard. And he is right at the front of the group. Now, Valerna can't do anything else because she's attacked, but she could continue her movement. Okay, she doesn't have any specific thing here, so is she going to stop here? Yes, she is. She's just going to stop in the doorway. Hogard, however, well, he got equal on just about all of those personality rolls. He has vendettas against Femmers, but there's none of those in this room. So 1, 2, is he going to stop here to search for traps, or is he going to attack? He is stopping to search for traps. There are no traps in this room. Cody says, goblins are the easiest. Meanwhile, our ocean goblin buddy proved that wrong. Yeah, too true. Too true. 2 fairly experienced heroes just took like 2 turns to get rid of one of the easiest variants of the easiest monster in the game. So yeah, that guy was definitely above his normal pay grade. Okay, slightly interesting monster's turn here. Of course, we've got all these goblins we're looking at here that can, at least 2 of them can get up to Hogard. We've also got a goblin close enough to Thraken that I want to remember to do that before his turn. So first off, Deep Goblin attacks Hogard, swinging its sword and hitting him with a 1. Oh man, he's a dwarf. You got to hit harder than that. Hogard defends, but look at that again. Only 1 white shield out of those 5 dice. So the heroes so far are defending well, but just barely. I mean, just barely. We also have a mountain goblin swinging its sword at Hogard, hitting him with a critical hit of 2, which Hogard also defends. Over on our other camera, Thraken may not be able to see any monsters at the moment, but he is close enough to a swamp goblin that is hanging out in the smaller hallway just around the corner from him that we could reasonably say that this goblin probably heard them walking down the hall. This goblin standing right there, it's gonna walk out here. 1, 2, and 3. Hey, we've got a real life monster on the board there. You guys see that? Oh, that's kind of funny. That is an earwig, and we have been having an issue with those in the basement. Let's move you out of the way, Grimina. Dead earwig. Get off my board, earwig. There we go. That's one problem with having fancy stuff in the basement. Basements are home to lots of interesting bugs. And as one YouTube commenter so eloquently concluded when I freaked out about a spider in an early episode, since I'm a sociopath, I guess, I kill those bugs when I find them. Okay, Swamp Goblin on Thraken. Now that the imminent bug threat is taken care of, now we got to take care of this goblin threat. The Swamp Goblin swings its sword at Thraken, hitting him with a 2. And, ooh, Thraken does not defend either of those hits, bringing him down to 9 body points. Justin says, you monster. Oh, I missed a couple of things. Justin says, I may fall asleep, hard day at work. Yep, just like last night, dude. Totally understood. No worries at all. And Cody says, hopefully all the spiders in my basement are keeping everything away. Yes. That's probably why we've been having an earwig problem, is because we've been killing spiders when we see them. Okie dokie, we are right back to Thraken, actually, who can retaliate against that goblin. Thraken swings his battle axe. Oh my gosh, hitting that goblin with a critical hit of 4, which is also fairly obviously a skilled strike. That goblin is super dead. Even more than normal super dead. We're gonna have to come up with a level above super dead for stuff like that. Okay, Thraken also has another action left. Nothing needs to be searched for in this hallway, so he might as well move. 1, 2. Now he can actually see down this short hallway right here. Down this hallway is a wall. and a door. So now we do need to ask him if he is going to turn down this hallway or continue moving up towards that upper door. He is going to turn down this small hallway. Now again, he's out of actions. He should search this hallway before he walks down it, but we just need to ask, is he going to stop here? He is not going to stop here. He's going to continue his movement. So that was 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Luckily, none of those squares are trapped. And then we'll have him go ahead and open the door into this blue and black room, where we find another door. Whoa. Some weird magnet action there. And that is it. Ooh. Bohemia says, release the geckos. Yes, that would solve the problem immediately. And Justin says, I'm hoping to stay awake, but I had to get up early today. I can sleep in tomorrow, though. Oh, right on, right on. Yes, I am hoping to get some decent sleep tonight, too. I was nodding off as I was trying to get my oldest to go to sleep before the quest tonight and was worried that I was not going to be very with it tonight. Cody says, I named one of the spiders Legolas because he has one leg less than all the others. Oh, that's classic. Okay, Thraken, what are we doing with this blue room? Are we stopping here? Yes, he is stopping. Now, he doesn't have the action to search, but he's going to stop there in anticipation. It is now Gramina's turn. She is also on camera down here. We've got one spider down here that we allow to live, and Savannah named that spider Charlotte because, you know, and that Charlotte is, we don't know if it's a boy or a girl, but we imagine it's a girl, very aggressive. We watched one time. Gwen says, call the next one Sept. Yeah. We watched her one time attack another spider. There was a spider crawling down the wall toward her web. It jumped off the wall and onto her web. And she usually, I don't know if she's a funnel spider, but she usually stays kind of back and out of the way down in there. And as soon as this other... Oh, Sept 1. Yeah, it's got all the legs, Sept 1. I love it. Charlotte runs up out of there and starts attacking that other spider until that spider left. It was wild. I'm surprised she didn't kill it. There was a spider corpse in her web for a long time too, and it's like kind of slowly disappeared over time. I'm not sure why, but that is the one spider on this entire planet Earth that Savannah allows to live. Okay, Gramina rolled a 7 this time. Let's get her moving. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And then we're going to go ahead and stop her here and see if she's going to search down this smaller hallway. Either traps or secret doors, and we're going to double weight secret doors because that's what she likes to search. So traps, secret doors, secret doors. Surprisingly, she's going with traps, and there are none down that hallway. Technically, Thraken already stepped on all the relevant squares. Probably not necessary. Should have thought of that a little bit harder. Oh well, that's what the cards determined. That's what she did. Back over here, we have a big old battle going on. Valerna, just like with the Ocean Goblin, is left kind of behind, so she needs to punch a hole into this room so that she can get in there to help. In the meantime, she can fire at this Mountain Goblin with her bow. She loads an arrow into that short bow and fires, but misses. You useless, useless heroes. Okay, the only other thing she can do with her turn is search for secret doors in that room, so we'll go ahead and let her do that. There are none. And we will then go to Hogard, who is also standing in this room and fighting 2 goblins at once. It would probably be smarter to try and get rid of the Deep Goblin, but let's card this. He is indeed going to go for the Deep Goblin. Hogard swings his battle axe, hitting the Deep Goblin with a 2, which is a skilled strike, meaning this Deep Goblin is dead. Super dead. I didn't mean to, but I kind of said that like Bond, James Bond. And let's go ahead and move Hogard out of the way. These are goblins after all. I don't think Valerna's going to have an issue defending stuff. Let's get him going 1, 2, and 3 up here to this other goblin. And then we will go to the monster's turn. And it is just these 3 goblins in this room that we have right at the moment. Let's start with the goblin who is now immediately adjacent to Hogard. That goblin swings its sword, hitting him with a 1. Which Hogard does indeed defend. We've got another mountain goblin attacking Hogard, swinging its daggers and hitting him with a critical hit of 2, which he blocks, but just barely. And finally, we've got a mountain goblin attacking Valyria, swinging its sword and hitting her with a 1. Let me review her defense dice. She's got 3. She does indeed block that hit. Nice. That's a lot of good blocking. Cody says, when you eventually do emotes, we need a super dead one. Completely agreed. When my sister-in-law was explaining to me how a lot of this Twitch stuff works, because I'm an old moron, that was the first thing I thought of when my sister-in-law was explaining custom emotes. I was like, oh, super dead. 100% we need super dead. Okie dokie, back up to Thraken the Barbarian. Yes, going into this blue and black room. Now we're going to start his turn with a trap search, because he stopped there last time. He just didn't have the action to do it. So he is searching the blue and black room for traps, and surprisingly there are none. This genuinely is just an empty room with a door in it. For his second action, is he going to search for secret doors, move in there with the intention of searching for treasure next turn, or is he just going to go straight for the door? He likes treasure. Let's double weight that. I just remembered that. Secret doors, treasure, treasure. Ignore all that and go for the door. Okay, he is going to do treasure. Now, he doesn't have enough actions to actually do that this turn, but we're going to put him in position. 1, 2, 3, 4. Then we'll leave him there, not blocking the door, but ready to go so he can start the next turn with a treasure search. Cody says, most of my channel's emotes are anime related. Surprise to nobody. Yep, 100%. You've got a Telecaster emote, right? You got to. I mean, I don't know if your streams have anything to do with music, if that would even make sense to any of your viewers, but for you, I feel like you need a Telecaster emote. Grimina. What's she got going on there? She still hasn't searched that little hallway for secret doors. Let's start with that. She's gonna search the little hallway. She's looking down for secret doors right here, and there are none, but it's Grimina, so she's got to search. Oh, nice. I like it. Cody says, I don't do many music streams. Gotcha. So it probably wouldn't make sense for most of your viewers as to why there's just a Fender guitar. Oh, and Gohen's got, oh, I assume those are your custom ones as well. Dragon Ball Z stuff, of course, of course. I love it. Oh, those are super neat, guys. Do you have a limit on how many? Is there like generally an amount you should have? Oh, and Justin's got his too. Nice. And those are kind of like the Rick and Morty script, right? LOL, GG, and hype. Nice. So I'm noticing, like, kind of in an answer to the question I was just asking, Justin's got 3, Cody's got 4, Gohan's got 5, right? So is there a limit how many custom emotes you can have? Is there a certain amount you kind of should have? This is all completely brand new to me. But I love it. Those are all awesome. Grimina, moving, but not very fast. 1, 2, 3, and 4. Just barely into the blue and black room. Cody says it depends. Some channels have a bunch. Okay, gotcha. So I imagine it depends on what makes sense, right? And then, of course, I know a bit about the bits and all of that stuff, too. And I've got some hopefully cool ideas for that stuff. Some of which I think, having watched some of the HeroQuest fans streams, I think they do some of the stuff that I had in the back of my mind as well. The ability to spend bits to make stuff happen in the quests, to either buff the heroes or make things harder for them, which I think would be a really fun mechanic. Valyria the Elf is the where we're at here. Someday I might flip this camera around. It bothers me a little bit that this camera is at a different angle to the other one. It probably doesn't matter that much. Valyria is going to attack. She is now close range on this mountain orc, and I believe last time she was in a quest, we bought her a battle axe. Am I correct? Yes, we did indeed. She swings her battle axe at the goblin, hitting it with a 2, which indeed is a skilled strike. This goblin is super dead. Eventually, it will not be so easy to get a skilled strike on a goblin. We're pretty close to that point. Valyria now has the ability to walk in there. The only thing that needs searched in that red room is treasure, and they can't do that till the monsters are dead. So let's just go 1, 2, so she can position herself to help out Hogard here. Okie dokie, Hogard, which one of these goblins are you going to attack? He is going for the one that he's already kind of facing. His axe is kind of interacting with that wall a little negatively. Hogard swings his battle axe at the mountain goblin, hitting it with a 2, which, as we just discussed, is a skilled strike on a goblin. That guy is super dead. Gohan says, careful with bits for real things or something. I don't know, I saw something going around. Ah, yeah. That makes sense. Cody says, I used to have a channel point reward where I had to play my game while wearing my Echo Break mask. Nice. That makes sense. I forget now. Now, obviously, I saw the Echo Break mask several times, but did they have stuff covering the eyes? Like, obviously, I'm sure you could see out of it, but surely there was... it was probably like webbed at least so that it was a lot harder to see. That's a super cool idea though. Okay, Hogard, really no point in doing anything else. No point in moving him. He can't search for anything until that other goblin's dead. We'll go ahead and leave that there. And monster's turn, it's just that goblin. He's the only monster on the board right now. Which hero is he going to attack? He's actually going to turn around and hit Valerna. The goblin swings its daggers at the elf, hitting her with a critical hit of 2. And she doesn't block either one of them. She's also built some constitution, so this drops her to 10. Okay, yeah, Cody says, we wore balaclavas under our masks. I probably butchered how you say that word. So the eyes were fine. Breathing with my beard stuffed in there, not so much. Oh, I bet. I bet, dude. I had trouble seeing a little bit for a decent period of time. I was in a Kiss tribute band that really did the whole thing. We did the costumes and the makeup and played the parts. And I look like a 12-year-old if I shave my beard. So I refused to entirely shave my beard. I left a fairly long chin beard and shaved everything else. Gohan says, were you a kid? No, no, this was later. I was in Sweet Pain, the Kiss tribute band from 2016 or maybe 15 until 2019. And so, yeah, but we did the platform boots and the actual, spandex and leather costumes and painted our faces up. And the face paint kind of messes with your vision too, because you need to get fairly close to your eyes. Now, I was playing the Vinnie Vincent character when I was in that band because we wanted to be different, so we didn't want to do the OG 4 Kiss guys. So we had a Gene Simmons and a Paul Stanley and then an Eric Carr, and then I was Vinnie Vincent. So I had the little kind of Egyptian, the eyeliner curled up at the end, and then there was a big onk right in the middle of my face. That was a lot of fun. It was always funny when we'd come in too, because people love to see people dressed up like that. Especially, we were fairly dedicated to the image. Thraken's turn. I'm going to try and keep playing while I'm talking. Thraken is going to search for treasure here, and so people loved that, seeing the image. The band musically was not very good, but visually it was as good as you could guess for a low budget Kiss tribute. Justin says, nobody wants to be Peter Criss. Even Peter Criss doesn't want to be Peter Criss. But the crowd would erupt. If we happened to walk in a line, which we did sometimes, we like to have a curtain drop, and we wouldn't be revealed to the audience until the curtain dropped. But sometimes there wasn't, you couldn't do that in some of the venues we did, so we would just walk in single file. And so often I would just go at the back just because it was so funny. Our Paul Stanley would walk in, crowd loses their minds, cheering, holy crap, this guy looks like Paul Stanley. Gene Simmons walks in, people go even more nuts. Oh man, Gene Simmons, I bet he's gonna blow fire and spit blood, this is gonna be amazing. And then the Eric Carr guy would walk in and they're like, okay, that's a deep cut, that's weird. And then I would walk in, no clap, all the clapping stops. You can just palpably feel the audience going, who's that guy? Oh, it was so great. Okay, Thraken the Barbarian finds a potion of healing, searching for treasure in that room. Okay, and then we'll go ahead and get him moving and opening this door. 1. Opening the door into this kind of maroon-colored room. In this room, we have another door. We have a table, so we'll go ahead and put a dirt floor down here. We also have in this room a swamp orc and a mountain orc. Are we getting to our painted mountain orcs yet? We're so close. Savannah's painted a chunk of the mountain orcs, and I put them in here, but I kind of use these drawers in order. I like to make sure I'm using all of the different minis, so I try to rotate stuff, and we just haven't hit the chunk of drawers with painted mountain orcs yet. Oh, I should use an Avalon Hill for the swamp orc, so that we remember he's a different kind. There we go. That's what our room looks like. Now that band has continued. Sweet Pain is still around. They just they replaced me. I just left the band because there was a bunch of other stuff going on, and I was getting a little frustrated that the band wasn't musically a little bit better. But they reverted to the normal lineup now. So right now they're going around with the same drummer that used to be the Eric Carr as Peter Criss now, and they've got an Ace character now. Oh, Savannah found pics. So if you're curious what I looked like dressed up as Vinnie Vincent, you can go check out pictures in our Discord right now. It was interesting. It was fun. I can't say that I ever guessed that I would have been able to put "can walk in 7-inch heels" on a resume, but I can, or at least I could in 2019. That was the last. It was the end of 2019 when I played my last show with them. Okay, Thraken has only moved 1, and he did indeed have 6 in his movement. He should search this room, but he doesn't have the action to do it. Is he going to stop here? Yes, he is. So he's opened the door, and that's all he's doing. Grimina is now in this room, and lo and behold, this room needs search for secret doors, and that is her favorite thing in the entire world. So we're going to double weight that. Secret doors, or move. And she is indeed going to search this blue and black room for secret doors, but unfortunately, there are none. Grimina, moving into the maroon room, theoretically. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Is she going to stop here since this room hasn't been searched for traps? No, she is not. She's got 8 movement, so 6, 7, and 8. And because of her trapsmith skill, I am now going to let her know, as the Dungeon Master, that there is a trap right here. I don't have to tell her what it is, but I am going to tell her that she is standing next to a trap. Okay, that concludes this area of the map. Back over here, we are at Valerna the Elf, who is going to attack this mountain goblin. Whoa! Valerna swings her battle axe and hits with a critical hit of 4, which is obviously a skilled strike. That goblin is super dead. Justin says, you should join a tribute band if your own band like the guitar players in Deathclock did in an episode. Oh, a tribute band of your own band. Yes. Oh, that would be funny. I've definitely played that joke a couple of times in comedy sketches. So back when Cody and I did Right Way to Nowhere, which was a big band for me for a long time. It's actually how I met Justin Pollitt. Came to a Right Way to Nowhere show. And Cody and I are the ones who started that band at first. And when we were in the band, we were doing lots of funny stuff. Thus, Dude Put Down My Cheeseburger. And all those sorts of silly songs that we were doing there. And we also did some sketches, like audio sketches. And one joke that we had in a mock documentary, we made up a documentary with a 100% fake history and started to record it. Never did get finished. But we did have a joke where the band gets into an argument and they all end up, Gohan says best song ever, all of the members of the band end up rejoining the band. You know, one guy says, well, I'm quitting and I'm starting my own band. Hey, you want to quit with me and join my new band? And the other guy's like, yeah, I'll join your new band. And then the one guy who's left in the original band is like, well, now I'm alone. And they're like, nah, you know what, we don't want you to feel bad. Do you want to be in the new band too? And he's like, yeah. And it's just, it's the same band. So they've essentially started their own tribute band. Def Leppard did that too. Def Leppard came out one time as their own opening act and called themselves Dead Flatbird, and did a kind of like a deep cut set, and they called themselves weird names and they wore like kind of costumes. You could tell it was them though. And then they came out like normal and did their whole thing. That was kind of neat. Valerna killed that last goblin and she can now search for treasure or leave. Does she have a thing? She likes to search for treasure. So treasure, leave. She is indeed going to do treasure in this red room. Let's see what she finds. Valerna finds, near the back of the room are several boards that look as though they were recently nailed to the wall. Upon breaking through those boards, you find a small alcove with a chest. Inside the chest is 50 coins. Very nice. We need some coins. That's going to put us up to 175 total gold. Okay, that takes us to Hogard. I chuckle remembering some of the stupid things that we did in that, man. 1, 2, 3. Dude put down my cheeseburger is chief among them. We had lots of food songs, but I think that's the only one that ended up on YouTube. The hot dog song was pretty funny. They always end in violence. Dude put down my cheeseburger ends up with the main character being dead. The hot dog song ends up with the main character beating somebody up or something like that. Oh no, Cody showed his old lady Cody's nightmare. Oh, the classics. The classics. Which one? Because we did 3, right? There was the original one on Looking at My Goldfish, which was the album title. That's the hardest she's ever judged me, the OG, yeah. And then there was like the longer version that was on Paint the Town Red, right? And then you and I did like a part 2 years and years later on an unfinished project. And even the part 2 that was years after the original has been like a decade ago. Okay, so Hogard didn't make it very far. So that's all he can do. This room's all searched out. I gotta pay close attention here. I'm gonna get lost because I'm reminiscing instead of paying attention. Monster's turn. We got these 2 orcs, and one of them theoretically could go after Thraken. So let's see, are they both gonna attack Grimina, or are they gonna go one-on-one? Both of these orcs can move pretty well. Mountain Orc first. Which hero is he going for? He is going for Grimina. Mountain Orc swings its sword, hitting Grimina with a 2. How's her defense looking? She's got 4, not too bad. Oh, Grimina. She got hit by both of those. This drops her to 9. Justin says, Zach Wild was asked about opening for Black Label Society with Zach Sabbath. He said he's a big fan of Black Label's guitar player's wife, and he's hoping to impress and steal her, talking about his own wife. I saw that clip. Oh, that is so fantastic. I'll tell you what, I have never personally been a fan of his guitar playing. I am actively annoyed by his guitar playing most of the time, but he seems like such a cool guy. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Okay, so the Swamp Orc could make it to Thraken. Let's see, is he also going to attack Grimina, or is he going to go for Thraken? Nope, he's going for Grimina too. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. The Swamp Orc swings its axe at Grimina, hitting her with a 1. And it blocked. She blocked. Just barely. Okay, Thraken the Barbarian needs to get into this room. Nobody searched it for anything yet, though, and he did stop. He stopped because he knew he needed to search for traps. So let's start his turn with that. He is searching for traps in this kind of reddish-brownish room, and there is one, and that Mountain Orc is actually standing on it. It is a falling boulder trap, so this is the one that I warned Grimina about. This is the only trap in this room. And then, let's see, he probably, from that position, I don't think he can shoot at either of these guys either. That's a little annoying. Well, let's at least get him up here, 1, 2, to provide an alternate target for one of those orcs. Cody says, I want to steal John 5's guitar collection. The man has almost every telly, including the broadcaster and no-caster. Yes! And John 5 is a fantastic guitar player and a big Kiss fan, too. He's got a lot of Kiss replicas. Justin says, thank you. I thought I was the only one. Every other note doesn't have to be a pinch harmonic. But yeah, super cool guy. Totally agreed. My introduction to Zach Wild was the 2006 VH1 Rock Honors or something like that, where they were honoring Def Leppard and Ozzy, and there were a couple of other bands I don't remember. And I watched because I was a huge Def Leppard fan. I should say am, I guess, but more so back then. And of course I knew Crazy Train, because how can you be a guitar player and not know Crazy Train? But it was the first time I was seeing Ozzy perform live on TV. Zach Wild was the guitar player, and so my introduction to Zach Wild was him butchering that riff at the beginning of that song by playing a whole bunch of pinch harmonics, and I've never been able to get over it. I've tried to listen to other stuff of his, and he is clearly an amazingly talented musician. it just doesn't hit me right, you know? Grimina, she's got 2 options for orcs to attack there, and she is actually going to try and get rid of the swamp orc. Probably the smarter one to try and knock out of there. That is the stronger one. She swings the Spirit Blade at the swamp orc and hits it with 2. Now, swamp monsters have worse defense, better attack but worse defense, so that is actually a skilled strike on a swamp orc. That guy is super dead. Out he goes. Okay, back over to this side. Valyrian the Elf. This room is all searched out, so they need to go up to that small room and see what's going on up there. 1, 2, 3, 4. She's opening the door into this small room, and in that room is a chest. I wonder if it will be empty. Also in this room, guarding this chest, is an ocean abomination. Oh, I don't want the big scary guy. Let's use a regular guy. Yeah. Ocean abomination and a deep femmer. Again, deep monsters, very low speed, but high attack. Justin says, Jakey Lee never gets enough credit. Agreed. Yeah, that guy, fantastic. I mean, come on. The Bark at the Moon riff is fantastic. That's like, that ought to be a classic metal riff alongside stuff like Crazy Train and Smoke on the Water, Stairway to Heaven. Bark at the Moon ought to be up there too. Okay, Valyrian, all she's done is move, so she theoretically could also attack here, but is she going to search for traps first? Let's see. She is not going to search for traps. Is she going to shoot, or is she going to go in there? Again, she doesn't have a preference. She's going to shoot. Okay, we got to keep drawing cards. Which guy is she shooting at? She's going to shoot at the deep femmer. Okay, she loads an arrow into her short bow and fires at the deep femmer, hitting it with a 1. Deep femmers do have 3 defense, but it blocks. Cody says, I want less pinch harmonics and even more artificial harmonics. There you go, yes. The Van Halen way. Artificial harmonics. Yeah. Okay, this leaves us with Hogard, who pretty much has no choice but to walk in there if he wants to get in on the action. He does have a bow, but he hits harder at close range. So it's kind of silly for him to not walk in there. Plus, he can soak up hits a lot better than Valyrian can. We don't need to roll him for this because he's guaranteed at least 2. Which monster is he going to hit? He is actually going to go for the Ocean Abomination. Hogard swings his battle axe. Only hitting the Abomination with a 1. I never remember these guys' stats. Okay, I got it. The Abomination attempts to defend and does not. It is not dead, but it is damaged. And we are now at the monster's turn, so let's go ahead and take care of this right here. Unfortunately, both monsters are going to hit Hogard, but he does have high defense, so it's probably not a big deal. Ocean Abomination stabs its spear at the dwarf, hitting him with a critical hit of 3. Ouch. He only blocks 1, taking 2 points of damage. I guess I spoke a little too soon. This drops him to 9 body points. Additionally, the Deep Femmer swings its axe at Hogard, hitting him with a 2. Hogard blocks 1, but not the other, dropping him to 8. Justin says, my favorite guitar player is Brendan Small, with Brian May as a close second. Oh, then it's me. Oh, man. Thanks, man. I appreciate that. That is an insane list of guitar players for me to be theoretically standing next to. I appreciate that. I try. That's as good as any musician can say, I think. I try, and I hope that anything I do connects to somebody, you know? That was the monster. Oh, we got one more monster to take care of. There we go. Mountain Orc attacking Grimina. Swinging the sword. Ouch. Hitting Grimina with a critical hit of 3. She blocks 1 and takes 2. This drops her to 7 body points. I have a lot of favorites for different reasons, I think. And it changes, you know what I mean? Now I got really hardcore into Dream Theater right around 2013. I've always been a fan of technical skill, and I feel like John Petrucci from Dream Theater does a really good job of balancing. He can do all of the holy crap, how did he do that kind of stuff, but he also he's not just like a million notes per minute all the time. He has done that, he can do that, but he's really good at getting emotional solos. So you can hum a lot of his solos, it connects to you, you know what I mean? So I'd say most of the time I tend to go for him. Let's get Thraken up here to attack, but several others. Phil Collin from Def Leppard was kind of the reason that I got really into playing leads. I was not a very leady guitar player until actually Cody introduced me to Def Leppard, and then the other friend I have named Justin that I've mentioned a couple of times that was in Right Way to Nowhere kind of cemented the Def Leppard connection. Thraken not messing around. Knocked that mountain orc straight out of there. Marty Friedman, who was in Megadeth for a long time, some of the most inventive guitar solos I've ever heard in my life. That is, I mean, you can't go without mentioning that. Cody says, oh, Justin says, oh yeah, he's amazing too. Cody says, this is going to sound so new school of me, but my favorite guitar player is probably Tim Henson. Yep, from Polyphia, right? His technical aspect while also mixing in the other aspects from other genres is wonderful, and I do also enjoy mixing genres. Absolutely. And then Justin says Malmsteen can go away. Yeah. So to answer both of those, yes, agreed. I think that's why I'm so drawn towards prog music, prog rock or prog metal, because you can mix in whatever. Prog, by definition, can be whatever. And since I've spent a large portion of my musical career doing lots of different styles, it means I can pull the influences from all of those things. And as long as it makes sense for the song, it can be in there and it's fine. And I love that. Grimina, what do we need to search in this room? Secret doors, treasure, or leave? She's doing secret doors, and there are none. Okay, Grimina, treasure or leave? She's doing treasure as well. Let's see what she finds. She finds a wandering monster. Oh no. And in this quest, the wandering monster is a dread warrior. Wow, that's bad luck. Having said that, Polyphia doesn't connect to me really. Just me personally, again. I don't hate the stuff of theirs that I've heard, and certainly the technical aspect is amazing. All of the modern prog bands blow me away, but I still have trouble connecting to modern music just in general for some reason. Haken might be the most I've connected to a modern band for a long time, and even them, I don't love everything they've ever put out, but some of their albums are fantastic. Dread Warrior on Grimina. Gosh, hitting her with a critical hit of 4. Poor Grimina, and she only blocked 1. She is down to 4 body points. We better be a little bit more careful with her. Gohan says, my dad fell in love with Rush because of Bytor and the Snow Dog. Yes, Rush is so good. I think their new tour is starting either tonight or tomorrow. That's going to be really interesting to see, and boy, do I hope the internet goes easy on their drummer, Annika Niles, because she is I have no idea if I pronounced her last name right. She is an amazing, amazing drummer with huge shoes to fill playing with Rush. Cody says, that's why I do weird things like put in mandolin, banjo, and lap steel in a metalcore song. Absolutely. Justin says, that's why I like Brendan so much. He pulls from all the legends and does it faithfully. I can listen to and sing what he plays and be able to tell what inspired it. Yes, that is great. That is great. And then to what you were saying about Malmsteen, yes, also I have never really connected with anything Yngwie Malmsteen has ever played. Having said that, the amount of technical skill, I want to get rid of the word technical. The amount of talent and skill that it takes to be able to play like that is enormous, and he had to have worked an insane amount to be able to do that, and I have an immense respect for that amount of work. Don't care for it necessarily, but wow, what a dedication that guy has. Same with Vinnie Vincent, for that matter. I was so excited to listen to the Vinnie Vincent Invasion albums, the stuff that he did after he left Kiss, and I hated them. I hated both of them. a lot. And it's because it was just 1,000,000 notes per minute. And I love fast playing. I'm not one of those guys that says fast playing is terrible. I love fast playing, but that was too much. There was no emotion in that. Unless that emotion was screaming at the top of your lungs for the entire length of every song on the album. Gohan says, nobody can ever fill Neil's shoes. Yes, they just need to be happy Getty and Alex are even going out. Agreed, agreed. And I think Annika's going to do really good. I think she's... There were a lot of drummers that could have done it justice, but nobody's ever going to be Neil. Completely agreed. Valerna is going to go ahead and shoot at that deep femmer again. Loading an arrow into her bow, she fires and hits it with a 1. Yeah, those still have regular femmer stats. And it blocks. She's not getting any help there. Now, with her second action, she could do traps or secret doors, and she is doing traps in that room. There are none. Justin says, Malmsteen is a good player, and I respect that, just not such a great dude. Oh yeah, I've definitely heard stories about him being awful to be around and awful to work with. Agreed, yeah. Hogard attacking the Ocean Abomination. Let's hope we can get rid of it this time. Swinging his battle axe, hits it with a 2. That ought to get rid of it. And it does not defend either hit. Yes, indeed, it is dead. There we go. Hogard can also search that room for secret doors. There are none. So many amazing bands and amazing musicians. I mean, there's too many to list, honestly. I like to think that anything I've ever heard in my life that I liked for any reason is an influence to some degree. You know what I mean? I'm not a genre purist. I've never understood subgenres very well because I don't care about them. I just want to do, for every song, I want to do whatever is right for that song, whatever that might be, regardless of what genre it might come from. That's definitely my philosophy on any song. Monster's turn. We got that deep femmer who's going to attack Hogard. Swinging attacks and hitting him with a 1. Hogard blocks. Over in the other room, we do have that Dread Warrior, but it did attack on this turn cycle, so if it survives the next turn, it'll attack, but nothing else. Yeah, Justin says, if I want 1,000,000 notes a second, I'll listen to Michelangelo Badio. That's no kidding. There's another guy who I've never really connected with anything I've heard him play, but what an insane talent. Gohan says, I was happy to catch the Clockwork Angels tour with my dad, no less. Oh, dude, that would have been amazing. I did not get to go see Rush live. I have not seen many of my influences live. I've seen Megadeth live, and I've seen Dream Theater live. For some reason, I've never seen Def Leppard. I've never seen Metallica, which is a silly thing. My friend Justin is the biggest Metallica fan that may have ever walked this earth, and he's also never seen Metallica live. I don't know how that happened, but Justin and I were discussing whether or not we wanted to go see Rush on this current tour with Annika. It sucks. Obviously, we would have way rather seen Neil, but that's not a thing now. So now it's kind of a question of, are we going to go see Rush just to say that we saw Getty and Alex at least? And again, I'm sure Annika's going to do a great job. She's an amazing drummer. But yeah, I really liked the Clockwork Angels album too. I would have loved to have caught that tour. Let's go ahead and move Thraken up to that Dread Warrior. Having said all that, I'm also not really that much of a concert guy, if I'm totally honest. Yeah. Justin says Metallica hurts the wallet. Agreed. And Cody says Justin hasn't seen Metallica. Yeah. Yes. Can you believe that? I think a lot of that has to do with Justin's biggest influence on bass, because he's a fantastic bass player, is Jason Newsted. And by the time Justin got into Metallica hardcore, Newsted was out of the band. So I think that's kind of at least a big part of the reason. Gohan says, you'll get as much of Rush as possible, just minus the amazing drum solo. Yes, I'm sure you'll get a great one, but if you know, you know. Right. Let's go ahead and we'll swing Battle Axe there at the Dread Warrior, hitting it with a 2. And it does not defend. That doesn't kill it, but it is damaged. I imagine we probably won't. He and I like to talk about stuff like that, but we rarely ever do it. I don't like being in a crowd I'm not good in a huge crowd of people, so I don't go to very many concerts unless it's something that I really care about seeing. I'm not likely to actually go out to a concert. I would love to, but there's never going to be a situation where I could just go and it's just like me and a few other people at a huge concert for a huge band. That's never going to happen. That's the ideal world, though. Cody says, Justin is still my favorite bass player in Ohio. I haven't even heard him play in years. He's that good. Agreed. Yeah. He is one of those bass players who was not a guitar player first. He didn't care about guitar. He wanted to play bass. And so he got really good at bass. He's not a guitar player that also plays bass. He is a bass player that also can do some guitar. Yeah. Go ahead and says, it's so expensive now. Yeah, even cheap tickets are expensive these days. Agreed. Yes. Grimina also swinging at the Dread Warrior. Hitting it with a 1. Now that could kill it. If it doesn't roll a defense, it's dead. And it didn't. Look at that. Grimina taking out a Dread Warrior like the superstar she is. I haven't even looked at the price of those rush tickets, but I bet they're something. I bet they are. Grimina can also move. Let's skirt her around this trap here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and go ahead and open this door out into the hallway down here. There's some interesting stuff going on in this hallway. First off, there is a door leading out of the quest at the end of this hallway. A wall. We already know about the wall that's next to her. And right at the moment, that is it. Justin says, if you get a chance to see Iron Maiden do it, it's so worth it. Yeah, that's another band that Justin and I should have gone and seen, and we haven't ever. Now that Nico's out, I don't know if we will. I've heard some reports that the new guy is just not really doing it. Gohan says, if you let her die. Yeah. And Cody says, I don't trust that outside door. Agreed. Yes. I am certainly not going to kill her on purpose. There's a non-committal statement for you. Back over on the other side of the map. Oh, I guess we didn't finish her movement, did we? I just kind of like populated that hallway and then stopped. Is she going to stop right there? Yes, she is. She doesn't have the action to search, but she is going to stop right there. Okay. Back on the other side of the map, we have Valerna still trying to get rid of this deep femmer. She knocks another arrow and fires, hitting it with a 1, which it blocks. This deep femmer is not doing the long range thing. It is not happening. What did she have for spells? Swift Wind, Water of Healing, and Courage. Courage is probably a little wasted on a deep femmer. Water of Healing is probably, she's going to have to go find Grimina and use that on her, probably, is what we need to do there. Okay, yeah, let's hold off on that. Nothing else needs searched in here, so let's just move her in there. She also attacks a little better close range, so we probably should have done that before. Go and says, I checked one tour date and it's all verified resellers. Cheapest ticket was close to $250. Ow. Yeah, I don't blame you, man. I'd pass on that too. I probably will go see Dream Theater again. I don't know if any of you know much about Dream Theater, but they had a drummer shakeup a little while ago. Their founding drummer, Mike Portnoy, left the band in 2010 and did just a whole bunch of other stuff. He right when he left, he went on tour with Avenged Sevenfold. He was the drummer on the Nightmare tour, and technically the drummer on the Nightmare album as well. But he left Dream Theater around then, and they got a different drummer named Mike Mangini, and they released several albums with Mike Mangini, and then switched back to Mike Portnoy back in 2023, I think. But anyway, I was a huge Mangini fanboy, so I was actually really sorry to see Mangini go. The 2 or maybe 3 times I've seen Dream Theater, I think it's 3, have all been Mangini tour dates, so I feel like I need to go see them with Portnoy at least once. Go ahead and says, I try to go to concerts that's also a show. I'm not big on just seeing guys play on stage anymore unless they are friends or something. So Deathclock, Ghost, Iron Maiden are the best shows I've ever been to. Agreed. That is something I'd like to do on a local level. I feel like that's something I've tried to arrange several times, and the closest I ever got was Sweet Pain. a band that puts on a show, something that is, you know, more than just playing the songs. But naturally, because I'm very music focused, by the way, Hogard's going to swing here at this Vimmer. I want it to be both. Oh man, he missed. I want the band to be musically really, really good, and also it should be a visual spectacle. Because if it's only just good musically, I mean, just listen to the album. Who cares at that point? Just listen to the album. So it ought to be something visual. That's something I really liked about Echo Break too, which was the band Cody was in, because they did that. They dressed up, and it was a show and also good music. Gwen says, as much as everyone may hate them, Insane Clown Posse puts on an actual show. Agreed. Yeah. Yep. Absolutely. And I wish more bands would do stuff like that. I feel like some bands are afraid of it. All the time you still hear people talk bad about Kiss, saying that they couldn't play their instruments, their music was garbage, it was all about the image, and that's not true at all. Like, maybe you don't like their music, and that's fine. You're allowed to not like the music, but it wasn't objectively bad. It simply wasn't. They had both. Go ahead and said Less Than Jake was a fun concert too. Nice. I've heard of Less Than Jake, but I don't think I've actually heard their music. Deep Fimmer now has a couple of options for people to attack. He is going, the red would be Valerna. He's switching targets. He's going to go ahead and hit the one that kept shooting at him. The Deep Fimmer swings its axe at Valerna and hits her with a 1. She's got 3 defense, right? Yeah. She blocks, but just barely. Cody says Echo Break was a band for 2 years before playing a show so we could work everything out. Yes, that is perfect. That is exactly the way to go. I've had plans for that sort of thing several times, and they've just never quite worked out for several different reasons. The most recent one of those would have been the band Sarvik, which put out an album in 2023, a kind of a Kiss-esque band sound-wise. We did a lot of Kiss covers, and we also wrote our own material, and we were planning to go out and do kind of the bar circuit here in this area as a kind of Kiss tribute band / original music, and we weren't going to go to the extreme that Sweet Pain did with costumes and stuff, but we were going to do something more. And then unfortunately the lead vocalist Harry died in August of 24, and that kind of just axed that. We weren't interested in replacing him. Unfortunately, it just kind of sunk the band. Go ahead and says, my ex-wife loved them, so when they came through with Good Charlotte, we had to go. I don't listen to Less Than Jake, but I'd go to another show. Oh yeah, I love when stuff like that happens. I'm the same way with Godsmack. I went and saw Megadeth one time, and the bill was Megadeth, Godsmack, Disturbed. And I know Godsmack. I like Godsmack's music, not enough to listen to it all the time, but I liked it just fine. But their show blew me away. It was an amazing, amazing show. And Disturbed, on the other hand, was boring. Musically, they sounded fantastic, but they just stood there. The light show was neat, but again, I found myself thinking, like, I could just listen to the album. If I wanted to hear the music played perfectly and watch something boring, I could have just listened to the album. Justin says, I want to see Electric Callboy so bad, but they rarely come here, and it's often at festivals. Yep. I saw some news article about them today. I don't remember what it was. Thraken the Barbarian. This room is all tapped out, so he needs to go check out what's going on in this hallway. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Is he going to stop right here? No. 7. Luckily, he only had 1 movement left. Now that he's standing there, luckily neither of those squares was trapped, he can search for either traps or secret doors. And he is going to go for traps. That was the right call, Thraken. Check this out, guys. Would you believe me if I told you that every square in this hallway was trapped except the 2 that he walked on and the 1 right in front of the door? I imagine you'll believe me. Why would I lie about it? There is 1 pit trap, followed by, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 spear traps. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7 spear traps. What a fun hallway. Gee, there ought to be something good with that door, shouldn't there? Thraken, that was the end of his turn, so it is indeed Grimina. Oh, okay, I see. I'm trying to figure out where I've missed. Gohan says, that's how I feel about all of my ex-wife's favorite emo bands. Yeah. I've never been a big fan of the emo thing. It was just a little too whiny for me. Cody said, I can't be boring on stage. Your dad got that out of me. Yep. Just like I can't chew gum on stage and am against everyone doing so. Yeah, same. I'm like actively grossed out by it now, even though I wasn't before. Justin says they just put out a new song with The Offspring. Okay, I think that is what I saw about it. You're right. Gohan says good music, bad life shows in reference to the emo. Yep. Cody says, I knew I didn't trust that door. And Justin says, what in the Indiana Jones is all that about? Fantastic. Okay, well, tell you what, Grimina has a really good chance of being able to disarm those traps. She's got Dwarf Disarm, which means she's only got a 1/6 chance of triggering those traps. But she is low on health. So I don't know if it's a good idea to send her down there. Because if she were to get hit by all of those traps, she would definitely die. She wouldn't even make it halfway down before she would die. Cody says, emo music is my life. I mean, Axion was emo, yeah, totally. Most of our songs I wrote about me dying, yeah. That was something that I definitely got out of after that. I feel like we mixed it up pretty well, though. The lyrics, definitely emo. But musically, I think clearly there was an emo, not reference. Oh man, I've lost the word. There was emo stuff in there. Influence, gosh. But I think we mixed it up pretty well with genre-wise, so that it was still fairly rock. And a lot of people said that we sounded kind of like newer hair metal, if you will, back in the day, and I agreed with that. That was definitely the height of my Def Leppard phase, so it made sense. Oh, some of those songs, though. Yeah. Okay, so we honestly need to figure out what to do with Grimina here, because strategically it's a bad idea to send her down there. Of all the people, it should be Hogard. So maybe what we ought to be doing here is we ought to work on sending Grimina over here and then sending Hogard over here. Because Hogard has that same thing with Dwarf Disarm, but he's not low on health. So I'd say that's probably the way to go there. Gohan says, I'd always say something along the lines of, I wish they moved more, and she's like, well, they're playing their instruments and plugged in or whatever, and I'm like, that's no excuse. I agree with you, Gohan. Yeah, 100%. We were always plugged in too, and we were always playing really complicated music. We still moved around. This hair's not for nothing. I flipped this around and destroyed my neck all the time. I couldn't see my guitar, and I still played right notes most of the time. Justin say, didn't you tell me Escape was originally an Axion song? No, that one was not. I don't think the version of Right Way to Nowhere that you would have seen didn't carry over any Axion songs, at least not there. We did like right at the very beginning of live shows, but that was long before you saw us. No, Escape was written for Right Way to Nowhere for sure. Cody says, yeah, never an excuse. I've never used a wireless. I've spun my guitars and all kinds of things. Yeah, I've used wirelesses, but I have terrible luck with them. I break every single wireless I have. They never work. Let's get Grimina moving back. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. I think I have a weird like electromagnetic thing or something that makes electronics not work right around me. Wireless systems being chief among those things. All right, Valerna, it's been enough turns. Get rid of this guy. Valerna the elf is swinging her battle axe at the deep femur. This guy has been alive for way too long. Ah, she hits him with a 1. That's not going to do anything. He's going to defend that. Okay, he didn't defend that, but he's not dead. Prove me wrong, all right? I'm happy to be proved wrong if it means getting this stupid monster off the board. Nothing else can be done in there, so we are right to Hogard. Let's see if Hogard can finish that thing off. Swings his battle axe and hits that femur with a 3. That'll probably do it. It's going to have to get 3 black shields to live. 1 black shield, but still not enough. That guy's dead. Go ahead and says, Bayside was super boring. Cody said, I love Bayside, but yes, boring. Census Fail was pretty dope, though. Okay, nice. Yeah, all of those are band names that I recognize, but not music that I've listened to. We met some guys. I'm sure Cody probably remembers this better than I do. We met the Hawthorne Heights guys, right? Cody says Coheed is an amazing show. Yep, of course, obviously Coheed and Cambria. We used to play that one song all the time, that clean part to, I can't remember the title, but it was the pen and something, right? Did we meet other guys? Did we meet the Silverstein guys, Cody? I'm remembering something else about that. When we recorded with Shannon Clark back in like 2005 or something like that. Goen says, I met the singer of Hawthorne Heights a few years back. Awesome. Yeah, that might have been the guy we met, because they're from Dayton, which is like right by where we are. Justin says, I could have sworn that song was related to Aaron somehow. I think it was the background vocal shouting, escape. Yes, that's exactly it. I remember you telling me it was a pain to record because they kept saying escape too fast. Yes, you're right, Justin. So the last incarnation of Axion before Axion went under recorded the gang vocals in the song Escape. So it was me and Justin and Aaron and a guy named Brad. Joanne says, it was the last concert I went to with my ex-wife when they did a freebie in Albany. Nice. Cody says, yeah, JT from Hawthorne, who's a friend of mine, and Shane from Silverstein. I thought we met Silverstein. I just couldn't quite grasp who they were, or who we had met. But yeah, absolutely. Okay, so yeah, we are at Hogard, who just got rid of that. Now all we need to do is search for treasure in this room, but I think we'll let Valerna do that, and we'll get Hogard moving back towards this hallway full of traps. Let's turn him around. Yeah, we've got a decent amount of camera space here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7. So we're gonna work on switching him and Grimina for the sake of health. And we can get Valerna to cast her healing spell on Grimina once they get switched. So that'll work out for us pretty nice. No monsters on the board. So we are back to Thraken the Barbarian, who has no business trying to disarm all these traps. He does have a toolkit, but it would be silly for us to do a 50-50 trap disarm chance when we've got 2 dwarves on the team. Let's go ahead and send him in a different direction while he is waiting on Hogard to come over here and determine what's going on. Because either way, that door is either it's going to be something real weird or it's going to be the exit to the quest, right? It's not leading to any rooms. So I think we can let somebody kind of try and figure that out. Thraken, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7. I'm saying that as if I don't already know what it is, but for the sake of the intrigue of the quest. Grimina, also moving. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7 up there in the hallway. No further searching needs to be done with any of that, so they're just rolling to move around. What do we got? Goen says, wasn't the most entertaining show, but they did play for over an hour for free, so I give them a pass. That's super, super awesome. Cody says, that's why every time JT or Hawthorne comes to Greenville, their openers were always Shannon and I. Yep, that makes sense. Yeah, they were definitely big friends with Shannon. And one of the guys, is it one of the Hawthorne guys that has a studio in Troy? Or somewhere near Troy? Oh, that's scratching a weird thing in the back of my brain I can't quite get a hold of too. Valerna, the elf, up there in the room. We have left her there to search for treasure. So she searches this treasure chest and finds the first hero to search for treasure in this room and find the last piece of Grin's stone map. Awesome. Cody says he's not in the band anymore, but yes, Micah. That was the thing that was scratched in the back of my brain, right? His name's Micah. Gohan says, I guess they played Saratoga a lot in the early days. That makes sense. Yeah. Here is the piece of the map that they just found. Excuse me. This is the map right here, by the way. There we go. We have now completed Grin's stone map, and this is really cool. This is actually a map of the quest, the final quest. Won't be the next one we play, but 3 quests from now. Now, obviously, you've got the big crack down here splitting the 4 pieces, but the rest of this is actually a stone map of that final quest. Cody says 2 of the members of Hawthorne now are guys from the story Changes. Okay, nice. I've heard of them. And Gohan says, full map, yes! Cody says, also known as the band that also had a new song called On the Outside. Yes. I think that On the Outside was one of the better Axion songs we ever did. Okay, and that takes us to Hogard the Dwarf, who's also standing right down here. And we are, oh, 3. Come on, man. 1, 2, 3. We're trying to get you moving somewhere quick. We got to move quicker than that. Okay, back over here to Thraken. Everybody's just kind of moving around right now. We need to get better dice rolls. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And Grimina. Come on, guys. 1, 2, 3, 4. We need a swift wind spell here. Everybody's moving super slow. Back over here, Valerna can also start moving out. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. Not very quickly. And Hogard. That's a little better. We're going to end up moving him off camera. What can we do here? Is this going to be on the other camera? Fairly well. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7. So he just moved into the left side of the camera there. This is going to take us back to Thraken, who is right there. He is on his way to a new area. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and we will let him open this door up here. Let's see what's going on in this room. In this room, there is another door. There's a special note in this room. Oh, this is where the boss of the quest is. Okay, let's populate all the other monsters that are in here. There are 2 mountain orcs in this room. Okay, I should have used a different thing. So mountain orc right here. I'm going to use another Milton Bradley orc for the other one. 2 mountain orcs. There is also a deep orc in this room, and we'll use a Milton Bradley. No, we're going to use an Avalon Hill for the deep orc. Yeah, so that we remember he's different than the other 2. Deep orc right there. There's also a wasteland goblin. A deep goblin. And the boss of this quest, which is an orc named Ograk. Looks like this guy right here. And let's read what Ograk's deal is. This is Ograk, leader of these orcs. He is a powerful monster, but he is also a bit cowardly. As soon as he is attacked for the first time, if he survives, he's going to run away. Justin says, I'm a sucker for a metal band with a keyboard, and I'm not even a keyboard player. Oh, yeah. Gohan says, I'm going to go see Evanescence in a few weeks, and then MC Chris a couple weeks after that. Nice, that'll be neat. Evanescence was always a neat band. Amy Lee is a really, really good singer. Thraken, what are we doing? Because this room is bad news. Is he going to stop and search for traps? No, he is not. He definitely had movement to continue going, but it would be really dumb for him to walk in there, because he is going to get surrounded immediately, and he's not going to have any choice because he's got to wait for help. I think he ought to shoot from the door. Now he likes close range better, so I guess we ought to card this. So close range, long range, and he is going to do long range. Okay, so he could fire at the deep orc, the wasteland goblin, or the deep goblin, and he is going to go for the wasteland goblin. He puts an arrow in his bow and fires at the wasteland goblin, hitting it with a 1, which it blocks. That is unfortunate. Okay, Grimina. Now, speaking of unfortunate, Grimina is the closest hero to come help, but it would be a death sentence for her to walk in there, and she can't help unless she does. So I guess we'll just keep on marching her back. 1, 2. Justin says, I had to explain to my daughter that the world collectively had a crush on Amy Lee, and that's why we all freaked out when she started doing music regularly again. Yes, agreed. Valerna the elf in the red room is also headed off towards new adventures. Let's see where she's going. Or should we have her head up towards that boss room? Because that's a pretty nasty boss room. And I don't know if we want them facing that alone. Let's send her off in another direction, and then she's got swift wind if she needs to get back there fast. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7. Puts her perfectly in position to see down this hallway. And at the moment, all she can see is a wall right there. Now she might as well search because she's here. Traps or secret doors? She's going to go for secret doors down this hallway, and there are none. That takes us over to Hogard the Dwarf, who is just barely off camera. He's down here. Now, we were sending him over to look at these traps, but now that this boss room is open, Thraken definitely should not be doing that by himself. So let's get Hogard up there, and then once the threat is not imminent, Hogard can go take a look at those traps. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. Perfect. That puts him... Now, he does have long range, and I think the only monster he could theoretically see is this mountain orc or maybe that deep orc. Let's pencil that and make sure that makes sense. Yeah, I'd say that doesn't cross that wall. The mountain orc is a little bit clearer of a shot, but I'd say the deep orc is also a clear shot. Deep orc's definitely a bigger threat. Let's shoot at that guy. Hogard puts an arrow in his crossbow and fires at the deep orc, hitting it with a 2. Which it does not defend. Bop, out of there he goes. Justin says, so for not metal related but funny, Billy Ray wrote all of the Hannah Montana songs. Yep, could only get one of his songs popular, but could write a whole catalog for a teenage girl to sing. Yes. Oh, Achy Breaky Heart is a classic. Alright, that was Hogard's turn, so it's the monster's turn. Now, this whole big bad room up here is the only thing that we have as far as monsters on the board, and only one of those monsters can move forward. It could be any of them, and we'll include Ograk in this as far as it could be any of them. So we'll go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, and face cards are going to be redraw. It is 9, which means it is indeed going to be Ograk, who's going to pretend that he's not a coward for a second, and come up here to attack Thraken. He hits pretty hard, too. He swings his Warhammer at Thraken, hitting the Barbarian with a 3. Thraken attempts to defend, and blocks 2 of those hits, taking 1, dropping him to 8 body points. Talking about absolutely killer female singers, Lizzie Hale from Hailstorm blew my socks off too. The first time I heard, I haven't cared for much of their music past the first album, but I remember clearly when their first album came out, I heard a section of one of their tracks was playing on an ad in the TVs at Walmart, and I worked at Walmart at the time. And I mean, it stopped me dead in my tracks. I was just walking past the electronics, and when I heard her singing, it was probably their song I Get Off, and I was just, whoa. I mean, absolutely blew me away. She has got to be one of the most like attitude-filled singers in rock right now. Fantastic range, fantastic pitch, and she's got that edge that makes her perfect for those harder songs. Okay, Thraken the Barbarian gets to retaliate. It is now his turn, and let's remember that if Ograk gets hit, he's gonna run away. So unless Thraken one-shots this guy, which would be kind of funny. Okay, Thraken swings his battle axe, hitting Ograk with a 1. Which Ograk blocks. So I guess he's not going to run away this turn, right? Because it said if he gets hit. No, that's wrong. As soon as he is attacked for the first time, if he survives, he runs. So he is actually going to run on the next monster's turn, which is kind of funny. So Thraken can also spend his other action searching for either traps or secret doors in that yellowish room. He is going to search for traps in there, which is a smart move. There are no traps in that yellowish room. Real quick, I'm going to shuffle my randomizer deck, because we have run that thing dry already. Get in there. I think my batteries are starting to die in that shuffler. It's starting to sound a little weak. Okay, that moves us on to Grimina, who is technically on camera down here. She is headed down towards Valerna to receive a healing spell and help with whatever Valerna is doing. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and... Uh-oh, she was here. I was looking at the camera instead of at her. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. There we go. We moved her off camera. There she is. So she's catching up with Valerna slowly but surely. Justin says, I like her and David Draymond doing If I Close My Eyes Forever. Yeah, I think I heard that. I'd forgotten about that, but I know what you're talking about. Okay, moving back over here, we are at Valerna the elf, who is checking out this hallway. Is she going to search for traps or move? She's going to move. Okay, Valerna, that was dumb, because there's a spear trap right there. Does she jump it? That was 1, 2. She does indeed jump that spear trap, so we don't need to put it down. Is she going to stop here and search for traps now? No, she's not. All right, so that was 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8, and luckily none of the rest of those squares are traps. Jumping a trap is not an action, so she does still have an action. Is it going to be... actually, the only other thing that can be searched in this hallway is traps. That was the only trap in this hallway, Valerna. You just got lucky that you jumped it. Justin says Lita Ford was amazing. Yeah, totally. Totally. And Ann Wilson from Heart. I mean, what her range was insane. I should say is insane. She's older now, but saying was kind of makes it sound like she's dead, and she is very not. Back up here to Hogard. Hogard can shoot at Ograk, loading an arrow in his bow. He fires an arrow, hitting Ograk with a 2. The orc attempts to defend, blocks one but not the other, taking a single damage from Hogard, and that is all that Hogard can do. So that takes us to the monster's turn. We still only have all of the monsters in this room right now active. So let's start by doing Ograk's cowardly run away when he realized, oh, these heroes are actually going to be hard to kill. I can't just squash these guys immediately. What he does is this, 1, 2, and he is going to open a secret door that is right there. Turns out monsters have the ability to open secret doors. He opens a secret door into this red room, and in this red room is another door. It's weird to be populating a room because a monster opened the door, but here we are. There is also a whole bunch of wasteland monsters in here. 3 wasteland orcs. Where are my wasteland orcs? There they are. 3 of these guys. One, 2, 3, and also 2 wasteland abominations. So we'll go ahead and use the big scary abominations so that we remember these are wasteland guys. 1 up here and 1 right here. And Ograk is moving behind them. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7. That's bad news. So we're opening a whole nother room of monsters that can come out here and attack, holding these guys up. Oh, Justin says, I love Stevie Nicks too. Yeah, absolutely. That's a voice you know immediately when it's Stevie Nicks singing. Okay, so only 1 monster can actually get up here to attack Thraken now that Ograk has turned tail and run. So let's just roll for one of these 4 guys that are right here. And it is going to be the Deep Goblin. 1, 2. Deep Goblin swings its sword at Thraken, hitting him with a 1. Oops. And he blocks, but just barely. Just barely is becoming a catchphrase too, which is not intentional. I just say it a lot for some reason because of those blocks. All right, right back to Thraken attacking that Deep Goblin back. It's we've got a situation here a little bit. Do we have any sort of like potions of strength or anything like that? No, we don't. So it's just going to be the battle exactly as it is. Thraken swings his battle axe at the Deep Goblin, hitting it with a 2, which is a skilled strike. That Deep Goblin is super dead. Now, here's where we're really at here. It doesn't make sense to have either one of these guys shooting because they both have battle axes. It's probably a risk sending them into the room, but it's going to be to our advantage from an offensive standpoint. So we know there's no traps in here. Let's go ahead and have Thraken go 1, 2. Putting him in the corner at least means that he can't get surrounded, or he can only have 2 monsters attacking him at once. And then we'll probably do the same with Hogard as well. especially if we can get Hogard into this back corner so that we can kind of do that same thing. We can guarantee that actually if we can get Hogard right here, that would be really helpful. It means only one monster can attack Thraken. We'll still get 2 monsters on Hogard, but he's got really high defense, so it shouldn't matter. Let's see if we can make that happen, but it's not Hogard's turn yet. It is Grimina. You know what? Let's actually move this camera over to Grimina. Grimina's in an awkward spot, kind of away from everybody. She is trying to get to Valerna, and she is moving 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7. So she is on her way, but she's still kind of far. Up on the other side of the map, we are, speaking of Valerna, at her. And she is about to be able to see down this hallway here. She moves 1, 2. Looking down this hallway, she sees a wall and a door. Is she going to stop and search for traps? Yes, she is. Much better. There are no traps in this hallway, Valerna. But it's a good thing she actually checked this time. Okay, now it is Hogard's turn, so let's roll him and hope that he gets a fairly decent roll here. Yes, now remember, heroes can move through other heroes, but not through monsters. So his path here has to be 1, 2, 3, and then 4. And this puts him close range on that swamp goblin. Or not swamp goblin, wasteland goblin. Whatever, my brain's just doing whatever it wants. Hogard swings his battle axe, hitting the wasteland goblin with a 1. The wasteland goblin does not defend, it is dead. Nice. I hope we've done that strategically as well as we can, or I think we have. But now this definitely means that all of those monsters up there can come in here too. Okay, let's start with the 2 monsters that are actually in this room. So first off, the mountain orc is going to attack Thraken, swinging its sword and hitting him with a 1, which he blocks just barely. We've got another mountain orc that's going to attack Hogard, swinging its mace. Not its mace, that's a flail. Hitting him with a 1, which he blocks again, just barely. Only 1 white shield in all 5 of those dice. And then we can get another monster at Hogard if any of those wasteland monsters move fast enough to get up there. I know wasteland abominations only move 2, so they're not going to get up there. What about the wasteland orcs? They only move 3. Okay, well, we might as well get them moving in there slowly. So wasteland monsters trade movement for defense. 1, 2, and 3. So we'll just kind of get them moseying their way in here. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2. And then we'll just go ahead and go 1, 2, 1, 2. And we'll let Ograk go backwards into the corner of that room because he's a wuss. Okay, Thraken the Barbarian in the corner, but not scared at all. Swings his battle axe at the mountain orc in front of him. Only hitting it with a 1. Come on, man, you gotta hit better than a 1. Luckily, the orc does not defend it, so he does actually manage to get rid of it. With his other action, he is going to search this room for secret doors, and the only one in here is the one that Ograk opened when he was escaping. What else we got going on here? Grimina. That's right, she's in the really awkward spot as far as camera angles go. Grimina is down here. We'll get her moving, see if we can get her up there to Valerna. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. She's not going very fast, but she's making progress. There she is. So they're at least on, the 2 of them are on camera together at least. It is Valerna's turn, so let's see what she's going to find in this yellow room. Is she going to search for secret doors or move? She's moving. 1, 2. Opening the door into the yellow room, she finds no further doors. There is, however, a weapons rack. There is also 2 mountain orcs. Here and here. There is also a deep orc. We definitely want a Milton Bradley guy for this so that I remember it's a different one. Yes. deep orc right here, and a wasteland abomination. So we want another one of the big scary looking guys. We'll go ahead and use the Spirit Queen's Torment guy. Wasteland abomination. Okay, Valerna, are we searching for traps first, or are we rushing in there? She is deciding, well, she's not going to search for traps first. We don't know if she's rushing in there, because she could fire. Is she walking in there, or is she doing long range? She's going to walk in there, and which one of the monsters is she headed to? She is going to go for this mountain orc right here. 1, 2, well, plus that, I guess 3, 4. Luckily, neither of those squares are trapped. She swings her battle axe at the mountain orc, hitting it with a 1, which it blocks. Unfortunate. That's left her in a pretty bad situation. She can get hit by 3 of those guys. Should have thought of that a little harder, probably. Up here, we are now at Hogard the dwarf, who's got a mountain orc to his side. He thinks out his battle axe and swings, hitting the mountain orc with a critical hit of 4. That is a skilled strike. That orc is super dead. Out he goes. Hey, we got a lot of viewers right now. If anybody in here hasn't said anything in the chat yet, feel free to throw something in there. You got suggestions or questions about anything that's happening? I or several of the people who are in the chat right now that are in here a lot would be happy to answer any questions. Also, if you are watching this and you're not following, that would be super appreciated too, if you wouldn't mind. We have newly got a fancy little thing that appears on the screen if you follow, and we actually haven't seen that on stream yet, so that would be really cool to see. We are here playing Hero Quest Friday nights, Saturday nights, Monday nights, and Tuesday nights, painting streams on Sundays and Wednesdays, and then world building, creative lore type streams on Thursdays. So every single night of the week at midnight Eastern time, you can come in here and hang out while we play some Hero Quest. Hogard's got nothing else he could do other than move, and strategically that wouldn't be very smart, so let's leave him there. We've got a pretty intense monsters turn coming up here looking like. So first off, Wasteland Orc walks up here and is going to swing his flail at the Barbarian, hitting him with a 1. The Barbarian blocks the attack, again, just barely. 1, 2. This Wasteland Orc swings its sword at the Dwarf, hitting him with a 1. Wow, take a look at that. Hogard didn't defend that at all. 5 defense dice, couldn't get a single white shield. This drops him to 7 body points. That's pretty wild. Just in case you were worried that 5 defense dice is overkill, sometimes it's not. And then we'll just keep on moseying these guys. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, and 1. Keep in mind these are all wasteland monsters, so they have very short movement, but they have higher defense than normal. Over here, we've got a room full of monsters with Valerna, and also we could send one after Grimina down here in the hallway too, since we've got extra monsters in this room. Let's go ahead and do that. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8. That orc didn't actually get to her, but it's coming. We've got a mountain orc directly in front of Valerna, swings its sword at the elf, hitting her with a 1, which she blocks just barely. We've got a Wasteland Abomination here. Let me review the attack on this guy. It's 3. Wasteland Abomination swings its claws at the elf, hitting her with a 2, which she blocks. She's getting real lucky. 1, 2, and finally the deep orc swings its sword, hitting her, ouch, with a 3. She blocks 1 and takes 2, dropping her to 8 body points. Luckily, she's still got a pretty good amount. She's got a potion of defense, too. I wish I'd have seen that. She could have, I mean, she did pretty good even without it, but that would have been a good turn to do it, knowing she was going to get hit by 3 monsters. Okie dokie. So yeah, we got some heroes in some dire straits here. Let's jump back up to Thraken the Barbarian and see if he can continue cutting through the horde. He is going to swing his battle axe at the Wasteland Orc directly in front of him, hitting it with only a 1. This still could kill it, but it's got pretty good defense. It does indeed block the attack. That is unfortunate. He doesn't have anything he can do about that, does he? Nope, he sure doesn't. And no further searching can be done in this room until the monsters are cleared, so that is his turn done. It is now Gramina's turn, and she is down here. Well, it's down for me. I guess it's to the left for you guys. She is moving. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7. Perfect spacing to get up to that mountain orc right there. She swings the legendary spirit blade, but misses. It's okay, guys. It's Grimina. She always has a plan. There was some sort of strategic reason for that miss. We just don't know what it was. Valyria. Talk about being in a bad situation. Here is what she is going to do. This is as good a time as any for her to cast her Courage spell. The spell may be cast on any one hero in your line of sight, including yourself. The spell grants the targeted hero 2 extra attack dice. The spell is broken the moment the targeted hero can no longer see any monsters. So until she is done killing everybody in this room, she's got 2 extra attack dice, which makes her particularly deadly with her battle axe. Which of these 3 monsters is she going to try and get rid of right now? She is actually going to go for the Wasteland Abomination, the scariest looking one. She swings her battle axe, hitting that thing with a 2. That's still a small amount of skulls considering the number of dice she rolled. Wasteland Abomination's right, heavy on defense. This is still probably going to kill this guy. Whoops, hit it with a 2. Okay, it blocked 1, but abominations are kind of like Frankenstein together. They don't have high constitution, they don't have high health. That guy is still dead. Out he goes. High defense, but not high body points. That was her 2 actions, casting Courage and attacking. So we are over to Hogar. That's right, back up to this room. So Hogar the dwarf, also going to try and take out the Wasteland orc in front of him. See if he can do that. He swings his battle axe at the orc, hitting it with a 1, which it blocks. Boy, Thraken and Hogard had kind of a bad turn there. Nothing he can do about that either. Okay, and no further searching can be done in that room, so unfortunately that is it for both of them up there. They are just going to get attacked. So it is the monster's turn. Let's go ahead and take care of that. First off, Wasteland Orc hitting Thraken the Barbarian, but misses. Next, Wasteland Orc attacking Hogard the Dwarf. Hits him with a 2. Which he blocks, just barely. And then, 1, 2, 3, we've got another Wasteland Orc that has reached him, swinging its cleaver. Misses. Okay, I guess everybody's just getting garbage rolls now. And we'll go ahead and keep moving 1, 2, and 1, 2. The Wasteland Abominations also moving into the room. And of course, we do still have Ograk up here in the corner. And I think now that these guys are surrounded, it makes sense that he would 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 kind of like peek his head back in the doorway. He is, however, a coward, so he's not going to be moving all the way in there. They're probably going to have to chase him down. But right at the moment, they are occupied. Down here, we got a couple of monsters attacking Valyria and a monster attacking Grimina. Let's go ahead and take care of that. Mountain Orc on Grimina swings its mace and hits her with a 1. She does not defend. Grimina is kind of getting back up to her old tricks here. That drops her to 3 body points. She's not swinging good attack, and she's not swinging good defense either. Over here with Valyria, we've got, first off, a Mountain Orc swinging its sword at her, missing her. And we've also got a Deep Orc swinging a sword at her as well. The Deep Orc only manages to hit her with a 1, which she does not block. It's definitely been a weird quest as far as the dice are concerned here. The dice can't seem to make up their mind whose side they're on, but we're not making a lot of headway on either front. Okay, back up here, it is Thraken the Barbarian who needs to get out of here. He's still got plenty of health. He's not in a bad situation other than he's got a lot of monsters around him and he's not swinging very good attack. So he swings his battle axe at the Wasteland Orc, hitting it with a 3. That's more like it. The Orc attempts to defend and does not defend anything. It is gone. Good, finally, somebody's getting some decent hits in here. And now he could move, but I don't think defensively that makes a lot of sense. Him and Hogard are kind of working in tandem side by side here. So let's go ahead and leave him right there. And we will come back for Hogard later on in the turn. Right now, it is Grimina's turn, and she needs to get rid of this mountain orc before it takes her out. Come on, Grimina. She swings her sword at the orc. Hitting it with a 3, critical hit of 3 is also a skilled strike for a mountain orc. This orc is super dead. Very nice, Grimina. I'm not sure what tactical reason there was for missing last turn and not defending, but she had it under control. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6 also allows her to kind of poke her head into this room and see what's going on. This also brings us to Valerna the elf, who is in combat. Now, she needs to do 2 things. She needs to attack one of these monsters, and she also needs to cast a healing spell on Grimina. That's part of the reason Grimina walked all the way over here. And she can see that. That is within line of sight. Let's go ahead and take care of that. Valerna is going to cast the Water of Healing spell on Grimina. No reason to read that card. It just heals her 4 body points. So 1, 2, 3, and 4 puts Grimina back up to 7. And then Valerna can turn her attention to one of these monsters. It is going to be the Deep Orc, which is definitely the smarter one to try and get rid of. Valerna is still under the effects of courage. She swings her battle axe. Whoa! That's the way to go. Critical hit of 6 skulls. Absolutely a skilled strike. That orc is super, super dead. Gosh. I don't know what that orc did to make Valerna mad, but I'm glad she was aiming at the orc. I don't know if Justin's still awake, but we've had an in-joke going since the first time he guessed it in person, that Valerna and Ragnar were in a relationship, but we were joking last night that the relationship seems to be a bit strained because they haven't been questing together. Maybe that was her taking some of her anger about whatever's going on between her and Ragnar. That orc just got all of that pent-up anger right there. Okay, that was Valerna's 2 actions, so we are now back to Hogard the dwarf, who has a couple of potential targets. He is going to continue trying to attack that orc right in front of him. Swinging his battle axe at the orc, hits it with a 2. The orc defends 1, but not the other, which means it is dead. Gwen says, we need something higher than super dead. We do. we do. Extremely dead? No, that feels too generic. Super dead is kind of funny for a couple of reasons. Yeah, we need to brainstorm, chat. What's higher than super dead? Okay, again, it doesn't really... Now, he's got another action, but there's no searching that can be done. It doesn't make strategic sense to move him. Let's go ahead and leave him there. It is the monster's turn, so let's go ahead and take care of everything we got going on in this room. Wasteland Orc is going to swing its cleaver at Hogard, hitting him with a 2. Hogard does not defend either one of those, dropping him to 5 body points. That's kind of wild with 5 defense dice that he's not doing any better than that. See if we can get, yeah, both of those abominations. Well, no, only one of them. Wasteland Abomination attacks Thraken, swinging its claws and hitting him with a 1. He blocks, just barely. 1 and 2. That Abomination, unfortunately, can't get any closer to Hogard, but it is close, and we're going to leave Ograk back in there. Ograk's going to be getting real nervous right here. Okay, Thraken the Barbarian is going to try and take out that Wasteland Abomination. Now remember, these guys have high defense, but kind of garbage body points because they're kind of Frankenstein together. So he's got a good chance here. He swings his battle axe, hitting it with a 2. It attempts to defend. Blocks 1, but not the other, which means it is indeed dead. Okay. I think we are going to move him now. We're just going to go here so that we can prevent that Abomination from attacking Thraken when he's already getting hit by something else. Okay. Coming back to Hogard here. We are now at Grimina. Ooh, this room hasn't been searched for anything. So Grimina, is she going to search for traps, search for secret doors, or go in there and battle? And yes, I know I said secret doors twice. That's part of her personality. She likes to search for secret doors. And she is going for traps in that room, actually, and there are no traps. That's kind of a smart search, honestly. Second action, secret doors, or shoot at that orc. She is actually going to shoot at the orc. Okay, she loads an arrow up into her crossbow and fires at the mountain orc, hitting it with a 3, which indeed is a critical hit and a skilled strike. For the second turn in a row, Grimina has made a monster super dead. We may not know what Grimina's plans are, but she's got one, and sometimes she pulls out all the stops. Okay, Valerna the elf. Now her courage spell has worn off. She put it to pretty good use there. Didn't last for very long, but she definitely put it to good use. We've got a couple of things she could do in this room, but she likes to search for treasure. So, secret doors, treasure. She's going secret doors. Okay. And there are none. But she has a second action. We'll go ahead and do that as treasure. There's nothing else going on in this room. What does she find? You find a small pile of completely unhidden coins. Stuck in the ground next to them is a sign that reads, "No touchin'." Luckily, you've never been much for reading signs, so you take the 15 gold coins. Okay. That puts us up to 190 coins total. I'm glad they're finding some gold, but I'd like for them to find a little bit more. We need gold. We are getting low. Okay, back to Hogard. Hogard the dwarf here needs to attack this wasteland orc next to him. He swings his battle axe, but misses. Oh, Hogard. Dude. Nothing else he can really do, so it is the monster's turn. We only got 2 monsters, I guess 3 monsters counting Ograk. 2 monsters on the board, these 2 guys right here. So first off, Wasteland Abomination on Thraken. Swinging its claws, it hits Thraken with a critical hit of 3. Come on, can't get a hold of the dice tonight. Thraken does not defend a single one of those. 1, 2, and 3 drops him to 5 body points. The heroes are taking a lot of damage tonight. Then we got Wasteland Orc on Hogard, swinging its cleaver. Hits him with a 2. And he doesn't defend a single one. What is going on? This actually drops Hogard to 3 body points. This is crazy how garbage they are doing with defense. Says the guy in control. Yeah, true. In control is definitely in quotation marks, considering the number of things we are doing to randomize the events. The dice and the cards and all of that sort of stuff. Yeah, this has been kind of crazy how bad they're doing defensively. Okay, Ograk. Now, we have established that Ograk here, the boss orc in this quest, is a coward. I don't know whether or not he would run into that room to attack those heroes or not, because he's seen them just wipe out, like, I don't know, how many monsters did they just kill? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So they've just killed 8 of the 10 monsters, not counting Ograk. So would he go help because they're low on health, or is he going to run away because they're still winning? I feel like they need to be chasing him down. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So we're going to move Ograk into the back corner of that room. Because once they're finished here, I feel like they're going to have to chase him down. He's not going to fight them unless they corner him. Okay, we are back to Thraken the Barbarian. Now, he does have a potion of healing, but he's not quite that low yet. He's definitely close to that low. Let's see if he can get rid of this Wasteland Abomination. Swinging his battle axe, he hits the Abomination with a 2. The Abomination does not block at all. It is dead. There we go. Still really nothing else to be done in this room. I guess we'll just kind of corner this orc in, and then we will come back for the dwarf. Right now we are at Grimina. There is nothing else that needs to be searched in this area. They need to get back up to where the other guys are. So Grimina walked all the way over here to kill one monster and get a healing spell, and then off she goes. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And it is Valerna's turn after that, so we might as well have her go ahead as well. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Now she does have a swift wind spell, which would be handy right now, but it would mean that she leaves Grimina in the dust. And that would be kind of rude. Back up here, we've got Hogard attacking that orc. Hogard swings his battle axe, hits the Wasteland orc with a 1. Wasteland monsters have high defense, guy. You gotta swing harder than 1. But he got lucky. The orc did not defend. It is dead. Okay, Hogard could technically search for treasure. I do think I'm gonna have him drink his potion of healing. Go ahead and says better than dead. Yeah, better than dead. We're gonna go ahead and erase the potion of healing off his sheet and heal him 4 body points. 1, 2, 3, and 4 puts him back up to 7. It is rare for a dwarf with high defense to get down that low. That's kind of crazy. Okay, so is he gonna search for treasure in this room, or is he gonna go after the boss? He's gonna search for treasure. Let's see what Hogard finds in this room. Scattered throughout the room are coins lying on the ground. After a thorough search, you manage to find 25 coins. Very nice. Like I said, we need coins. So that's going to put us at 215 total. Okay, monster's turn. It's just Ograk up there in the corner. And again, I don't feel like he is very likely to go after those heroes. So I guess let's have him run away. When he realizes that they've killed all of the monsters that he sent after them, let's have him just keep opening new areas of the quest. So 1, and he's gonna open this door. Out in this hallway, there is a couple of walls. Walls here. Walls here. Another door. A wasteland goblin hanging out in the hallway. And we'll have him go 2, 3, and we'll go ahead and have him open this door as well in the blue room. And we'll have him hang out in the blue room here. There is another door. A wasteland orc. And 2 wasteland femmers. Oh, we're bringing out old Redtail. My terrible, terrible 12-year-old or younger paint jobs. One of the things that happened was this guy, which last time we had him out, we jokingly referred to him as old Redtail a few times. Wasteland femmers hanging out in here too. So Grak is gonna go 4, 5, 6, 7, and again, kind of like hide in this room. Now it is the monster's turn, so since these guys are activated, he could be telling them, go kill those guys, go, 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 go. Wasteland monsters are always slow, so this goblin only moves 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Nobody's gonna get to him. And the orcs only move 3. 1, 2, 3. And then maybe we'll just have this femmer block the doorway. We'll move this femmer up. We're not gonna send everybody totally out. Okay, Thraken the Barbarian, there is nothing left to search in this room, and I do feel like that they need to prioritize killing that boss over searching these other rooms. As long as things don't get too desperate, we could have Valerna and Grimina go ahead and search this other room. So let's go ahead and send them after Ograk. So, Thraken the Barbarian. 1, 2, 3, 4. Is he going to stop here and search for traps? Yes, he is. There are no traps in that red room. Coming back there in a moment. We are now at Grimina, the Dwarven Explorer. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, ouch, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. She must have tripped on something there, but she kept going. Okay, chat, not for this turn, but for the next turn. Valerna the Elf does have a Swift Wind spell, which allows her to roll double the amount of movement dice for 3 turns. 1, 2, 3. We need to get her up here. We need to get her up to the other side of the map. The problem with casting Swift Wind. The only reason it's not a good idea is because she's kind of traveling with Grimina, and she can't cast the spell on both of them. If she does that, she will leave Grimina in the dust. What do you guys think? Should we do that for the sake of getting Valyriana up to the action quicker, and then we're just going to have to keep rolling Grimina, or do we keep the two of them together? I'll leave that up to you guys. You guys let me know what you think we ought to do, and on the next turn we'll do it. We are now at Hogard the Dwarf, right here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7. He is attacking this Wasteland Goblin, swinging his battle axe, hitting the Wasteland Goblin with a 2. Come on, dice. The Goblin does not defend, so it is dead. Don't be afraid to throw stuff in the chat, everybody. Looks like we got a pretty decent amount of viewers. Don't be afraid to throw something in there. I'm curious, should our elf cast a Swift Wind spell to help her move faster, even though it'll leave one of the other heroes in the dust? Should she stay with the other hero, or should she cast the spell to make her move faster? Monster's turn. Let's get this orc in here. He can reach Hogard. 1, 2, and 3. Wasteland Orc swings its axe at the dwarf, but misses. How many do Femmers move? I should take a look at that. Wasteland Femmers move 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. We'll just get him in the room, and then we'll have old Redtail keep blocking the door. Go ahead and says, which is more in danger? The other heroes, I'd say. I don't think it'd be a big deal to leave Grimina in the dust. But it could go either way. You know what I mean? If we're treating these heroes like, you know, quote-unquote real people, would it be rude of her to do that? Unless the situation is dire. If the situation up here that we're looking at was dire, I think I wouldn't have asked. We'd have just done it. But at this point, it could go either way. That was the monster's turn, so it is Thraken. It is the barbarian right up here. So let's get him up into that room now to help. 1, 2, 3. Which monster is he going to attack? Yeah, he is going to attack this orc. Thraken pulls out his battle axe and swings, hitting that orc with a 1, which it blocks. Unfortunate. Goen says, I feel like it would be valid for her to want to speed up to help her party. I'm good with that. Anybody else have any opinions? We will leave it up to a vote, but if everybody is in agreement with Gohan, we will do that. It is Grimina's turn. Speaking of Grimina, so she doesn't have anything that can speed her up. She is just going to be walking along. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and we moved her just off camera, so she made it up to there. She's getting there. And it is indeed Valyriana's turn. Anybody else have any thoughts on this process? Should she cast the Swift Wind? That seems to be the consensus so far. Okay, we're going to go ahead and do it. Valyriana is going to cast her Swift Wind spell. This powerful burst of an energy allows the targeted hero to roll double the amount of movement dice for the next 3 movements. So she is almost certainly, unless she rolls total garbage, gonna leave Grimina completely in the dust, but it's okay because there's not really a big threat back here that Grimina will have to face on her own. Okay, so for her first augmented movement, you get a couple more movement dice here. There we go. Valyriana rolls. Oh gosh, what do we have here? 9, 10, 12. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, and 12. So for her first movement, she sure didn't leave Grimina in the dust. She's just gotten right up next to her. That was kind of a garbage roll for double. You could roll 12 with 2 dice. Okay, and back up in the other room, we have Hogard the Dwarf, who is attacking that Wasteland Orc. Hogard swings his battle axe, hitting the orc with a 1. Guys, you gotta hit these Wasteland monsters harder than 1. He gets lucky, the orc doesn't defend, and it is dead. Gohan says Mario Party loves to do that. Yes, yes it does. Here's a double, you got 3. Oh, triple dice, you get 5. Yeah. We've been playing a lot of Mario Party Superstars recently. Got that game because, of course, I imagine we're a similar age, you and I. Grew up playing Mario Parties 1, 2, and 3. And so Mario Party Superstars has been a lot of fun. My oldest son has discovered that and absolutely loves it. So we've been doing a lot of the mini games only. He doesn't care about the maps. He likes the mini games. He likes the Snowball Summit mini game the best. Okay, so Hogard got rid of that orc, I guess. He could search. He could move up to the Femmer or search for secret doors. Does he have a certain thing? He's got a vendetta against Femmers, so we're going to go ahead and move him up there. Okay, monster's turn. We're looking at all the monsters that are on the board right now. It's these 2 Femmers and Ograk. Yeah, that's right, because they killed the goblin that was out here too. So let's go ahead and get the Femmer attacking first off. The Femmer swings its axe at Hogard. Ouch, hitting him with a critical hit of 3. Hogard blocks 1, but still takes 2 hits, dropping him to 5 body points. He no longer has a potion of healing either. Gohan says it's not the same without the star stealing. Yes, this is true. You find a boo and pay it 50 coins, you steal a star. That's for sure. What else do we got? We've got that other Femmer. We might as well move that guy too. How much? I know I just looked at this, but I've already forgot. How much do they move? 4. Wasteland monsters are slow. 1, 2, 3, and 4. That's unfortunate that it also reached Hogard. Swings its axe and hits Hogard with a 2. Hogard blocks 1 and takes the other one. It is supposed to be hard to hit the dwarf. He's down to 4 body points. Wow. Got to get there with 50 coins first. Yeah, yes. Oh, it's always the most frustrating thing. And I always thought, I'd love to know what the actual mechanics are, but if you let the boo steal coins for free, and then you have to mash A to stop it from stealing coins from you, I am pretty sure that doesn't do anything. I cannot seem to measure any sort of reward for mashing A in that particular thing there. All right, Thraken is going to move up here and swing at this Femmer. Let's get rid of these guys. Don't swing ones. Hit something good. Thraken swings his battle axe. Yes, there we go. Hits that thing with a 3. And it doesn't defend at all. Very nice, Thraken. Let's keep that up. Down here we have Gramina and Valirna. Gramina is going to move first. See what she gets. Only 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Someday they will reach the action. Valirna a little quicker. Valirna is still doing the Swift Wind spell, meaning she rolls double the dice. So Valirna is now moving. Now that's more like it. 10, 16, 18 is what she's moving here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18. Or 18, yeah. Or we determined they were going to go out through the other door, didn't we? Yeah, we'll say 18 there. Nothing else to be searched for in that room. Swift Wind definitely paid off and stuck her right into the action. Her next turn is going to be her last Swift Wind turn. Okay, since we're up here, it is Hogard's turn. Let's see if he can pull off the same thing Thraken just did. Hogard, can you one-shot old Redtail the Femmer? Hogard swings his battle axe, hitting the Femmer with a 2. It's definitely possible. Redtail, you can't kill old Redtail. Blocked 1, took 1, not dead, but chip damage. Redtail don't go down that easy. Oh no. What else can Hogard do? He can spend his other action this turn searching this room for secret doors. There are none, but at least he searched. Monster's turn. Speaking of old Redtail, the Femmer swings its axe at the dwarf, hitting him with a 2. Which Hogard defends, finally. But again, just barely. He defended exactly enough, which is kind of ridiculous. And we're going to let Ograk continue being a wuss in the corner there. All right, Thraken. Ooh, you know what? Hogard can take care of a Femmer, surely. Let's get Thraken chasing Ograk so that he doesn't keep opening new parts of the quest. 1, 2, is he going to stop and search for traps? No, he is not. 3, 4. Is he going to stop here and search for traps? Nope. 5, 6. He's not letting this orc get away, and luckily none of those squares are trapped. Thraken puts an arrow in his bow and fires at Ograk, hitting the orc with a 1. Let's see if he blocks it. He does indeed block that attack. All right, where are we at? Grimina. Grimina's down here in the hallway, just kind of making her way downtown, walking fast. I don't know what that just happened. I didn't like it, but it happened. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. She's on the other camera now. Yeah, she's right at the bottom of the screen there. Should we have her come down this hallway and take care of these traps now that she's not almost dead? That might not be a bad idea. We were going to have Hogard do it, but now Hogard's almost dead. Yeah, we'll go ahead and turn Grimina this way, so next turn she can go that way. All right, Valerna, what's going on here? She's got her last bit of swift wind on this. Not that she's going to need a huge movement for this turn, but we'll go ahead and see what she rolls anyway. Wow. Biggest yet. That would be 21. She is not going to be moving 21 spaces. In fact, if she decides to search this green room for traps, she may only move 1, 2. In the green room, there is another door. We're almost done, by the way. This quest is almost over. There is a table. So there's a dirt floor and a table. And that is it. Valerna, are we stopping to search for traps? No, she is not. 1, what's she in here to do? Traps, secret doors, treasure. She likes treasure, so 2 treasures, or is she just going to open that other door? No face cards. 7. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7 is one of her treasures. So she's walked in here to search for treasure, essentially. Let's see, there's a special treasure in here. What does she find? The first hero to search for treasure in this room will find an Elixir of Life artifact on the table drawer. Very nice. This is a very handy artifact that the heroes now have 2 of. This small bottle of pearly liquid brings a dead hero back to life, restoring all of their body and mind points. This potion can only be used once. That might come in handy considering how bad the heroes are struggling with health this quest. So we'll go ahead and mark that on her character sheet. And we'll put our extra dice away. Okie dokie, Hogard the Dwarf. We need to get rid of Redtail there. Hogard's getting pretty low on health, and we don't have a lot of ways to heal him. Hogard swings the battle axe, hitting the Femur with a 3. That's the way to go. That Femur blocks 1, but not the other 2. It is dead. You can't kill old Redtail unless you hit him hard enough. And then, like most things, he will indeed die. Okay, Hogard, he might as well search for treasure while he's in here, right? Yeah, even if it's a trap, he's not going to die. We'll get it done. What does Hogard find in this room? A potion of strength. It's too bad it wasn't a potion of healing. He could have used that. Potion of strength on his character card. Okie dokie, this brings us to the monster's turn, and the only monster we have on the board at the moment is Ograk, and he is a coward, but I do feel like we're at a point now where he's just gonna try. We're gonna walk up to the barbarian and go ahead and give him a hit. He swings his warhammer, hitting Thraken with a 2. Thraken blocks 1, but not the other. This drops him to 4 body points. Now, Thraken does have a potion of healing, but I would imagine that he would probably want to hang on to that unless it's really important. Okay, we are right back to the heroes since that was the only monster on the board, and it is indeed Thraken's turn. He doesn't have anything that's going to augment his attack, so he is just going to swing his battle axe at Ograk, but misses. Oh, man. Come on, Thraken, you chased the guy all the way in here. What's going on with that? With his second action, he can search this room for something. It's going to be secret doors, and there are none. Gramina. Just kind of doing her own thing for most of this quest. Gramina is going 1, 2, 3, and 4 into the blue and black room on her way down to this bottom hallway to see if she can see what the deal is with this door at the end of that hallway. Back up here, it is Valerna's turn, and she has only searched this room for treasure. So is she doing traps, secret doors, or leaving this room? Come on with the kings. She is doing traps. There are no traps in this room. Second action, secret doors or leave. She's gonna leave. Okay, 1, 2, 3. She opens the door, and this is technically the final room in the quest. Oh, there is another door here. There is also a deep goblin. And also one completely innocuous, completely not alive, completely harmless stone statue. Yeah. It's one of those quests. Okay, Valerna, are we stopping here? No, she is not. She's going for that. Now, that means she's attacking the goblin. Is she going close range or long range? She doesn't have a preference. She's going long range. Okay. Now, she can't actually do this because she searched the green room for traps. Oh, yeah, I should have thought of that before. That broke my brain there just for a second. She's not stopping to search for traps, but she doesn't have the action to shoot, then she would just walk in there. Yeah, she rolled 5, and she moved 1, 2, 3, so I guess 4, 5, but unfortunately, there's a spear trap right there. Let's see if it hits her. It does not hit her. She got lucky. But geez, Valerna, that is not the first time that's happened this quest. You should always search for traps. Okay, Hogard the dwarf hanging out in the red room. There is now nothing left to search for in that red room, so he needs to get in there to help with Ograk. 1, 2, 3, 4. He just is doing it very slowly. He cannot help with the boss right there, but he can search that blue room for traps. He's going to, and there is no traps in that room. Monster's turn. We got 2 monsters. First off, Ograk. Go ahead and says traps, nah, doors, yeah. Yeah, that seems to be the philosophy of this quest for sure. Ograk swings his warhammer at Thraken. Ouch, hitting him with a critical hit of 4. How much of this is he gonna block? 1. Oof. 1, 2, 3. This actually drops Thraken to 1 body point. Ooh, man, that could have killed him. If he hadn't got that 1 shield there, he would have been dead. Good thing he's got a potion of healing. This is getting pretty wild. Okay, and then we also have the Deep Goblin now attacking Valerna. The Deep Goblin swings its sword, hitting her with a 1, which she blocks. The totally innocuous stone statue in that room continues to be a totally innocuous statue. For now. Thraken the Barbarian, back to the heroes. Let's see if we can get rid of this guy. Come on, he's the boss. He's already damaged by 1. We need to get rid of him. Thraken swings his battle axe. hitting the boss with a 1. Come on. And the boss defends. We're gonna be here the rest of the night. Come on, guys. No, I didn't need to switch cameras. Gramina. Whistling hi-ho from the Snow White and the 7 Dwarves movie, I have to imagine. Continues to mosey. 1, 2, and 3. She'll get somewhere eventually. And then Valerna back up in the room with the goblin. Let's see if she can get rid of this goblin. She is going to swing her battle axe at the deep goblin, hitting it with a 3, which is a skilled strike for a deep goblin. That guy is super dead. Killing that goblin, however, triggers Nothing at all. Okay, second action. Valerna, traps, secret doors, treasure, or are we just going out that door? She likes treasure, doesn't she? Yeah, okay, so traps, secret doors, treasure, treasure, leaving out the door. She is going for traps in this room. That's smart, since she stepped on one. Valerna, this whole room is full of traps, and you should have known that. You should have known that. Now, obviously, she stepped on the one spear trap. There is also a spear trap here, and here, and here, and here. There are also 2 pit traps here. Oops, we knocked over the totally innocuous statue. And here. Always search for traps. Okay, that was her 2 actions, attacking and searching for traps. Okay, Hogard the dwarf. Can we please get in there and help? Surely between the 2 of you, you guys can actually kill this guy. Come on. 1, 2, 3, 4. Hogard swings his battle axe at the boss, hitting Ograk with a 2. See, that's a little bit more like it. Ograk blocks 1, but takes the other. At least there's some chip damage there. I just realized we forgot to have Thraken drink the potion of healing. Whoops. And it is now the monster's turn. There is only 1 monster on the board currently, and it is Ograk. Which one of these heroes is he swinging at? He is actually going to switch and swing at the dwarf, probably because the dwarf just got damage on him. Ograk swings his warhammer, hitting Hogard with a 1. The dwarf defends. Very nice. We are right back here. Thraken the Barbarian is now going to swing and hopefully this time actually hit. Hogard swings his battle axe and hits the boss with a 1. Come on. And of course, Ograk defends because he's got 4 defense dice, and you're not very likely to get 1 skull past somebody with defense that high. There is nothing else that can be searched for, but he is going to go ahead and drink his potion of healing. So we're going to erase that off of his sheet and give him 4 body points back. 1, 2, 3, and 4 puts him back up to 5 body points. Whew. Grimina is continuing to move down towards those traps. That's a little bit of a better roll. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and 9. She does indeed get out into the hallway. She's not to the traps yet, but she will be on the next turn. Valerna needs to search this room for treasure and secret doors. Now, she likes treasure, so let's see. Secret doors, treasure, treasure. And we're not going to let her leave. We're going to make her search this whole room. So which of those things is she going to do? She's going for treasure first. Anything special in this room? Nope. She searches for treasure and finds an arrow trap. An arrow springs from the wall, hitting her and causing her 1 body point of damage. Luckily, she's doing good on health. She is still at 6, which means she can search this room for secret doors and find nothing, except a strangely unmoving gargoyle. Okay, this takes us over to Hogard, who will hopefully take out this boss, please. Hogard swings his battle axe at Ograk and misses. You can't make this up, folks. Ograk is apparently a very fast monster who does not want to go down. He had a potion of strength. We probably should have had him drink that. We'll try and remember that for the next turn. Since apparently they're struggling to kill this guy that I did not think was going to be a very hard boss. Okay, it is the monster's turn, and the only monster we have is Ograk. Which hero is he going for? This time he is going for Thraken. Ograk swings his warhammer, hitting Thraken with a 3. Thraken blocks 1, takes 2 of those hits, dropping him down to 3 body points. Ooh. It's funny how the bosses can get hits past 4 defense dice, but the heroes can't. Okay, we are back to Thraken. Okay, he hit you pretty bad there, Thraken. You are almost dead. This guy's only got 2 body points left. Can we get rid of him? Thraken swings his battle axe and hits the boss with a 2. This is going to be enough to kill him as long as he doesn't defend. Ograk attempts to defend and blocks 1, takes the other. He's now down to 1 body point. Let's see if we can get rid of him. Grimina is going to start working on these traps. So, firstly, 1, 2. She attempts to disarm the pit trap. Now for her, disarming a trap is rolling 1 combat dice, and as long as it's not a black shield, she is successful. She's good. Pit trap is gone. She's just going to have to do 1 trap per turn, although the spear traps are a little easier. No, actually, we're probably going to have her actually disarm those. She has a 50-50 chance of getting hit by those if she just steps on it, which means she could get all of those spear traps done pretty easily. But she's got a better chance of disarming them all. It's just going to take a minute. Valyria, I think we should leave. She doesn't even have a way to disarm the traps. It would be silly to try and step over that pit trap to go out that door. Yeah, let's have her go back out the other way. Pretty quickly, too. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. There we go. And that brings us to Hogard. That boss has only got 1 body point left, Hogard. Let's just have him go ahead and drink the potion of strength that he found earlier so that we can hopefully guarantee something fairly decent. This means Hogard is going to make this one, just this 1 attack gives us 2 extra dice for. So this is going to be a 6 attack dice attack right here. Hogard swings his battle axe, hitting Ograk with a 4. That's the way to go. It's not a skilled strike. It could have been. But Ograk is going to have to roll 4 black shields to live. He only rolls 1, so finally, Ograk, the boss of this quest, is dead. Whew. That took a lot. Okay, this quest, however, is still not over. It is very close to over, but it's not over. That's actually Hogard's first kind of achievement. Killed Ograk. Okay, Hogard, might as well search for treasure, right? What does Hogard find? Ah, suddenly the stone beneath your feet gives away. You fall into a shallow pit, losing 1 body point. There's your reward for finally killing the boss. You lose a body point. He is now down to 3 body points. The heroes are beat up. It is a good thing that this is almost the end of the quest. Okay, nothing left to search for in this room. No monsters on the board. Thraken is moving. And pretty quickly, I might add. Let's see what's up in this hallway. 1, 2, 3, and 4. Opening the door into the hallway, we see a few things that we need to talk about. Let's see if we can get a high enough camera angle to get everything in here. So first off, this hallway does actually go all the way down to the end. There is a wall here. So as you can see, no need to go out that door because that does just connect to this hallway. It goes all the way down to the other end of the board, which we can just barely see. At the other end of the board, there is a hallway here. We have the exit door, which they need to get to. But one more pretty significant roadblock they have. Standing there guarding the door is a Doom Guard. And that is this fellow right here. Now these guys look like Chaos Warriors, but they are definitely worse than Chaos Warriors. Doom Guards are Zargon's kind of elite lieutenants. These guys are bigger, badder, way stronger stats, and he is guarding the door, which means they have to get rid of him. I don't know if we've seen one yet in the series. We may have seen one before, but this guy is definitely bad news. Now, Thraken, are we stopping here to search for traps before we step into the hallway? Yes. Okay. And I'm glad he is. There's no traps in that entire hallway, but I am glad that he stopped there because I don't think it ought to be him that's walking up that Doom Guard. Him and Hogard both are down to 3 body points. They should not be the ones fighting that guy. Yeah, really, it should be Valyria fighting that guy. Okay, let's come down here and see Grimina. Now, this definitely just got weird because we need to figure out what's going on with this door over here, and it's going to take her 7 turns to properly disarm these. So maybe we should go ahead and have her just kind of run through them and see how many she gets hit by, and if she starts getting low on health, we'll stop. But we need her to get through this quick so we can figure out what's going on with this door. Okay, she's rolled 8. We're just going to have her try to jump this trap rather than disarm it. Does it hit her? It does. Unfortunate. This drops her to 6 body points. This does not end her movement. Ooh, question mark. Question mark? Does this end her movement? Let me consult the rules. One moment. Spear trap, spear trap, spear trap. Here we go. Okay, yeah. If the result is a skull, they lose 1 body point and must end their turn on the trap square. Ah, that's unfortunate. If that had been a disarm, it would have been fine. But that's on me. That's the decision I made, and apparently it was the wrong one. Here I was thinking Grimina was going to get lucky. Guess not. Okay, Valerna is up here and working her way towards the other heroes. As I mentioned, it really should be her fighting that Doom Guard because she's got the most health. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Although she's the one with the elixir of life. And if she dies, nobody else can get to it. So maybe that's a bad idea, actually, now that I'm thinking about it. Okay, that means we are at Hogard. I guess Hogard might be the best option, knowing that Valerna could revive him with that elixir of life if he dies. She's also got a potion of healing that she could use on him, theoretically, but he's got the highest defense. Hogard's gonna move 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. Does that put him within shooting range? We need to switch the other camera, don't we? I think that's too far out of range. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Oh, that's so frustratingly close. Hogard could shoot at him, but he's not quite close enough. Okay. What do we got going on here for the monster's turn? Can the Doomguard reach him? Where are the stats? Okay, Doomguard is slow. Good. The Doomguard moves. 1, 2, 3, 4. They have pretty heavy armor. I'm glad he didn't reach Hogard, because that pretty easily could have been a one-shot death. Okay. As I mentioned, it really should be Hogard fronting this up, I guess. We don't really have a great option for this, but Hogard's got the highest defense. So I think that's going to be what we want to do. Let's go ahead and move Thraken out there. And I don't want to put him in front of Hogard because we want Valerna to be right behind Hogard, so that if he dies, she can just use that Elixir of Life artifact on him immediately. From his current position, Thraken can shoot at the Doomguard. So let's go ahead and do that. Thraken puts an arrow in his short bow and fires, hitting the Doomguard with a 1. Ooh, Doomguard have a lot of good stats right here. Thankfully, the Doomguard does not defend that attack. Obviously, it's not dead, but we're getting some chip damage on it. Okie dokie, Grimina. Let's try this again. What's going on with these traps here? Can we please jump over some of them? Jumping the trap. Oh, dang it. Okay, I guess on the next turn we'll just do regular disarm instead of trying to jump them. Here I am thinking that she can get through several of them quickly. All we're going to manage to do is kill her. Okay, she's down to 5 body points. I guess on the next turn we'll do disarm instead of attack. Back up here, we need Valerna to head up there. She's not currently on camera, but she's about to be. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So here she is. She cannot affect anything yet, but she is very close. Is there anything she could do? No, she doesn't have any spells left, and none of the items she has work long range or would be useful. Okay, Hogard. Now is the time for a really, really good attack. Let's get a critical hit of 4 right now. Hogard swings his battle axe at the Doomguard. Hitting it with a 1. Doomguard defends, because of course it does. He's got 5 defense dice, Hogard. You can't hit with a 1. That kind of tactic is not going to work on this guy. Oh boy. Okay, monster's turn. The Doomguard attacks with 5 as well. The Doomguard swings its massive axe at Hogard, hitting him with a 2. That could have been way worse. The dwarf defends and blocks both hits. Okay, shoo! This is tense. Thraken. We're gonna move him 1. We don't want to move him up into that other square. I want Valerna there. Thraken puts an arrow in his short bow and fires at the Doomguard, hitting it with a 2. The Doomguard does not block either of those hits. Thraken is actually doing really good at knocking this guy down. I think they have 4 body points, right? Yes, so it is actually down to 1 body point already. This is going a lot easier than the fight with Ograk did. Valerna. No, I'm sorry. Grimina. Here she is. Okay. We're gonna do disarm this time instead of jump. As long as it's not a black shield, she's fine. Okay, she has successfully disarmed that trap. That also means she would have jumped it if we had done it that way. But whatever. Whatever. She's making it work. Can't complain. Now Valerna. Oh, come on, Valerna. 1, 2, and she can't get into the space I want her to. She can still shoot. She puts an arrow in her short bow and fires at the Doomguard, but misses it. I bumped the dice cam just there. No, it's all right. And Hogard. Hogard, can we land the final blow? He's only got 1 body point left. Let's get the scary stuff over with. Hogard swings his battle axe at the Doomguard, hitting it with a 1. Come on! Hogard, you need some training, man. But the Doomguard miraculously does not defend, meaning that it is indeed dead. You guys got lucky on that. That fight should have been way harder than that. You guys got super, super lucky. You guys have been rolling garbage the whole quest. Okay, we'll go ahead and let Thraken search this hallway for secret doors as well and reveal nothing, which means the only thing that we have left to do in this quest is making sure that Grimina can make it through these traps without dying. So we're going to go ahead and treat these guys like they left. They're going to go ahead and roll their way out of the door, and all we're going to pay attention to so that we can get to closing out this quest and end the episode is what's going on down here. So we'll treat Grimina like she's the last one in the quest. She is going to step on this trap and attempt to disarm. And she is successful. And then we have the other hero's turn, and we come back to her. She steps on this, attempts to disarm. She is successful. Now see, these white shields would have mean that she was jumping over them too, if this would have happened in the first place. Okay, she steps on this one, attempts to disarm. She's still successful. Remember that for a dwarf, it's a black shield that's bad. Last one, she steps on this one, attempts to disarm, and she is successful. Okay, good. Grimina walks up to the door and pushes and shoves and slams and even hits it with her sword, but the door just will not budge. Unfortunately, there is nothing to do with this door. This door is basically useless. It is kind of meant to waste your time, because HeroQuest loves to do that sometimes. Okay, I'm not going to make you guys watch as we roll her all the way up back to the proper door. So, we know, obviously, there's nothing in here that would stand to kill her before she got to the door. Eventually, she's going to roll enough dice to get to the actual exit door and head out of the quest, meaning that we are done with this quest for the night. Let's talk cleanup, or let's get cleaned up, and then talk the end of the quest. This was a little bit of a frustrating quest. The rolls were just so neutral. You know what I mean? It's like the nobody was hitting anybody, and it took forever to get there. I mean, it certainly led to some suspense-filled battles, which is good. It's not too easy, which is always good. But this was kind of crazy. I'm surprised that this went the way it did. Okay, At the end of every quest, each surviving hero gets 50 gold coins for surviving the quest. If you want a better lore-based reason for that, we can say all 11 heroes in the ranks are in these tunnels right now. We just happen to watch this particular group, and the 200 gold coins that we are adding to the community wallet right now could have been the coins that the other 7 heroes found during whatever they were doing during this period. Either way, we're up to 415 gold coins total. Also, each surviving hero gets 2 skill set points, which they must spend immediately. We've got 6 skill set categories, 10 levels per category. Each hero class is affected differently by those levels. There's not a reward for every single level, but there's always something good for maxing something out. So even if it's something that you don't necessarily think of normally with the character, like magic for a barbarian, he can still get some magic if he decides to put it into that. It's just going to be a little bit less than if he were to put it into combat instead. So for Zargon the Barbarian, we're going to increase, this is his 9th total quest. We'll go ahead and erase his damage. We could say this for pretty much everybody, but man, he got beat up. The heroes were skirting the line on body points this quest, and most of these heroes have built Constitution and had more body points than normal. Zargon has a total of 12, and he still got down to almost death. Without a potion of healing, he would have been in bad shape for sure. His first point tonight is going to be Machinery level 3. Awesome. That is Toolkit Disarm, right? Yes, it is, which means he has the ability to disarm traps like he has a toolkit, even though he won't need it. Now, he does have a toolkit, so we might as well have him hand that off to a hero who doesn't have one. Right over here, our top hero right here is Tiaga the Warlock. Let's just give it to her. We'll pass the toolkit over to her and erase it off his sheet. He doesn't need it anymore because he has that skill naturally now. Okay, and his second point is going to go towards Education level 5. Education increases mind points, however, there is not a reward for level 5. So that is everything for him. Next, we have Grimina. Grimina, of course, is the superstar of the quest. She kind of felt like she didn't do a whole lot this time, did she? I mean, she still got some pretty important critical hits on a lot of monsters, but because she got really beat up near the beginning of the quest, and we had her switch places with Hogard, she spent a lot of this quest just walking from corner to corner on the map. It just sort of felt like she floated along, just kind of doing whatever she happened to come across, which isn't necessarily a criticism. Like I said, she still got really beat up, so she was in it. Just it happened that she did a lot of walking. Her first point tonight is going to go towards Constitution level 3. Constitution increases body points, but there's no reward for level 3 for her. Her second point is going to be Combat level 3. Let's see if that's anything for her. It is. Her base defense is going to increase by 1. This means her base defense is now 3. Base defense is how much she rolls if she does not have any armor. However, the armor that you add is added on top of your base defense, so this does actually increase her total defense to 5 dice. Dwarves are a very tough, resilient bunch, so that is definitely going to work in her favor in the future. Valyria. Valyria got damaged the least out of everybody. She still had 6 body points at the end of the quest, and she's the only one who didn't use any sort of healing on herself anyway. She did heal Grimina, but she didn't do anything to herself. So she did a lot of stuff in the quest. She just was getting good rolls, I guess. Oh yeah, we need to increase her up to 9 total quests completed. Her first point tonight is going to be Magic Memorization level 4. That is an increase to 4 spells per quest. Nice. I did say that she could get more spells, so she's headed up that ladder. Her second point is going to be... Oh, actually, that queen is good for her. Combat level 2. Is that anything for... Yes, her base attack is going to go up. Now, base attack works a little differently than base defense. Her base attack went up to 2. It does represent the same thing. Base attack is how many dice she uses if she does not have a weapon. So if for some reason her battle axe and or her short bow were taken from her, if her battle axe was taken from her, she would be rolling 2 close range. So with her fists, she's still a little bit stronger. However, weapons do not add on top of the base attack. So her normal attack does not increase. The base attack is used more as just kind of a just-in-case type thing. Okay, was that both of her points or was that only one? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and 9. Yes, that was both. Okay, and finally, we have Hogard Redmantle, the dwarf. Also really beat up this quest. Came close to dying a couple of times, and facing up against that Doomguard when he only had 3 body points left was definitely pretty scary. So again, those guys got so lucky with that Doomguard that it didn't end up worse. I really figured Hogard was going to die, and then Valyrian was going to use that Elixir of Life on him. His first skill point tonight is going to be Machinery level 4 for a dwarf. Okay, he is now going to gain access to the Danger Sense skill. So this is something that usually only Dwarven Explorers have. Let's review what that does, because I always get Danger Sense and Trapsmith mixed up. So this means now, when Hogard searches for treasure, if he draws a trap card out of the treasure deck, we get to ignore it. We get to discard and draw again, but only once per treasure search. Desmar's here. Hey, Desmar, how's it going? Oh, dang it. I didn't notice the stream was live. It's all good. All good, man. We're doing this every night of the week, so we'll be back. Now, tomorrow's a painting stream, but yeah, you missed most of the quest, unfortunately, but it's all good. One more skill set point for Hogard. Hogard is also, he's going to go magic skill level 3. That's weird for a dwarf, but whatever. Maybe he likes magic. So this is going to give him access to spells, but he needs to pair this with magic memorization level 4 to actually get a spell. But hey, it's interesting. Dwarf with spells? Why not? Why not? All right, that concludes everything we've got going on. Darn, I feel bad. Desmar, you just got here like right in time for us to end. I'll show you around just a little bit, since again you didn't really get to see much when we were doing that creative stream. So this is the board, and this is kind of a modular board in that all these walls can be removed and we can put doors in and stuff. And the heroes walk around fighting monsters like this gargoyle right here, although in this quest this was just a decoration instead of a monster, which is the reason he was left alive. But we've got 3 heroes up here, a dwarf, a barbarian, and an elf. And then there's one more dwarf character down here at the other corner of the map who was checking out this other door. Desmar says, yeah, okay, this is what I saw earlier. I thought it was a different channel. Oh, yep, nope, this is us. This is us indeed. But that is that's going to do it for us tonight. We are done with this quest. So you guys probably know the drill as far as the schedule goes. We are doing this every single night of the week at midnight Eastern time. So literally every single night. We are doing quests on Friday nights, Saturday nights, Monday nights, and Tuesday nights, doing what we were doing here tonight. On Sunday nights and Wednesday nights, my wife Savannah is down here painting these miniatures. In fact, this board that we're looking at, she painted this. This was just a plain black 3D printed board here, and she paints, so everything she painted, all these heroes she painted. Sundays and Wednesdays are her paint stream, so tomorrow night she's going to be painting, and Thursday, of course, is our brand new kind of world building / lore / administrative type streams. So I will be back here on Monday night for another quest. We are almost done with book 2 of our campaign. That is book 2 out of 14, so we still have more than 100 more quests before we are going to be sending a group of 20, hopefully pretty experienced heroes up to face off against the evil Dreadlord Zargon, who's the big bad of this whole campaign. So lots and lots and lots more to come here before we're doing that, and then we're going to be working on creating a new campaign, which is going to be a lot of fun. If you happen to be watching this right now and you have not followed us here on Twitch, please consider doing so. It helps us a whole lot, and it's super easy. We also just got an alert for following. Now, I thought that was active, and I was surprised when Desmar followed a couple of nights ago that didn't happen. It turns out I'd set it up wrong. It is working now, and we haven't seen it live on stream yet. So again, if you happen to be watching right now and you haven't followed, if you wouldn't mind, I would actually really love to see that thing pop up on the stream. And as I said, it really helps us out anytime you do that. Don't forget, if you'd like to catch up on the story, you can catch all the previous episodes of Midnight Quest including quests, painting streams, and daily shorts over on the Midnight Quest YouTube channel, where you can also subscribe and like videos and do all that content creatory stuff. Again, it does really help out, and we appreciate everybody that has already done that, both subscribing on YouTube and following us here on Twitch. Thank you guys so much for watching tonight, and thank you to everybody who has already subscribed and followed. We really, really, really appreciate that. Again, tomorrow night, Savannah will be here painting. I'm not sure yet what she's painting. I know she was working on mountain orcs, but she might be either close to done with those or planning on doing some different stuff. So definitely come here at midnight Eastern time to hang out with her tomorrow, and I will see you guys on Monday for the next quest in Book 2. Thank you one more time for watching, and we will catch you guys next time on Midnight Quest. We'll see you later.